Hello and welcome to the Destiny Community Podcast, episode number 90. We got quite the episode for you this week, guys, because, a certain sweet Dick Willie is here. So there's that. But first, before we get to that, we have to let you guys know that Holt is currently constructing the world's largest vat of gumbo in Louisiana right now. So unfortunately, he wasn't able to make it today because he's making a huge vat of gumbo. This is going to be the world's largest vat. So
that's his
Guinness
true passion.
Is there, right?
Is gumbo.
Guinness is there and everything.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to record everything. It's going to go in the record books, and he's going to be famous for gumbo.
They were going to live stream it, but they realized that there's no internet in Louisiana.
Them there crawfish took them all. Goddamn.
I just want the world to know that I gave Patrick that recipe for his gumbo. He's actually using my recipe.
You did?
And yeah.
I highly doubt that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I substitute
You don't
the roux
seem like
for
a gumbo
hot
guy.
dogs. No, he's gonna eat hot dogs and some cheddar cheese in there.
Yeah, I got to be honest. You don't seem like a gumbo guy, Pope.
You know what?
If you
I've
invited
got
me
many
over and said,
talents.
I just made the most incredible gumbo, it's an immediate red flag. I got plans that night.
Yeah, that's a trap if I ever
Sorry,
heard one.
Pope Bear. I gotta go eat some Taco Bell.
All I'm telling you is that Patrick owes me a little bit of royalty, money after this.
A little gumbo royalty?
Yeah.
That's it.
How much money is getting a record in the Guinness Book of World Records?
Is there actually money involved?
Is there money?
I don't think they get you money.
I thought it was just
They
recognition.
put your name in a book.
Is it all about like you getting your
it's
face
clout.
on a box of Wheaties? Like, is that what it's about?
I wouldn't be surprised if
get that
you have to actually
advertising.
pay to be in the book after you get the achievement. Yeah. Legit.
But do they at least
That
give you
sounds
a
more correct.
free glass of Guinness or something?
It's Guinness?
You get a plaque
minute.
with your name on it.
Is the
I
Guinness
don't
World
think it's
Record
the same.
actually connected to Guinness?
Yeah,
Sure.
Really?
Yeah.
it is.
I'm with
Is it
Ryan on
sponsored
that.
by Guinness?
Yeah.
I think they at some point they
I'm frowning. You
diverged,
can't see them.
but I think originally they were the same company.
Really?
Yeah.
I think so.
So they made tasty.
I think Briar's making this up.
think
He's
he's
using the
bullshitting.
shades to his advantage.
Yeah.
Look at him.
He's got that smirk.
Yeah, he's got the
Yeah.
smirk going.
Sounds like I think it's true. I actually read it in a book somewhere.
Really?
Chat agrees with me.
No.
Man, that's crazy.
What
I didn't
book?
know
The
that.
Guinness Book of World Records.
They were like, man, this beer is delicious. We made the best. This beer is incredible. We should put it in a book that says it commemorates its most deliciousness. And they're like, let's keep going. Let's start doing it with biggest fish ever fished. Wow, look at that. And then it went on from there, right?
I don't know. I always just look at the two guys on the tricycles, like the two big fat guys riding the motorcycles, the fattest twin guys. You've seen those guys, right?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Everybody's seen those guys.
The fattest
Yeah.
twin guys.
Yeah, they're like on mopeds or something. It's a great picture. And the longest fingernails, you've seen those ones,
That
right?
one is what comes to mind when I think of Guinness. I always think of the incredibly long fingernails. It is
They're pretty
The
good.
health hazard.
horrendous. It's horrendous.
It's awful. It was
It's
awful.
nightmare fuel.
Hey,
Like I don't like.
How are you going to
look-
wipe? You know?
Well, you got another hand.
Isn't it? Well,
actually,
wait, you're just
But
doing
there's
it with
both
one hand.
hands.
Easier.
You're
not
not
really
ambidextrous wiping. You gotta wipe with the same hand every time.
But
No,
I'm assuming.
Actually, I do. I
Briar,
think. Now that I
it's
think
not
about
wiping.
it.
It's at that point it's called scooping.
Oh,
Yeah, you're not
man.
really wiping. You're
You
scooping.
can't scoop. Have you seen the nails on the longest nails person? Have you seen
Yeah,
them?
it's-
Yeah, they like curl
Unusable.
around.
Yeah.
Look like-
Okay.
look like
It's like
rats.
a Brillo pad at that point. You're just kind of.
It's
Yeah.
Like
also-
that is definitely a hunt and peck typist. That's all I gotta say. That is not a homeroom typist.
That is not getting 60 to 70 words per minute, let me tell you.
I mean, the Guinness Book of World Record is legit disgusting. There is stuff in there like the largest.
That's why they had to split
zit.
off from the beer, because the beer's delicious, and then there's a bunch of disgusting
Right.
stuff in the Guinness. They're like, we can't associate
it's
with each other
mostly
anymore.
disgusting
Yeah.
stuff.
solved.
Yeah.
That's adding
Now-
more
now we
validity to
understand
Briar's.
it,
Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Well,
Before we move on, Pope Bear, someone, a few people in our Discord, in our Guardian Con channel earlier, recommended that we have a donation goal for a Pope Bear versus Patrick Taco Bell eating contest. What kind of monies we gotta hit to get a?
Why you gotta throw this on me when we're live on camera? I don't know what you're talking about.
Well
That
done,
sounds-
I think
Yeah, well
I think it's what the people want.
Wow.
So what are you
Pope,
suggesting?
How much is it going to take for you to make the children happy?
Yeah, man.
Yes.
To cure sickness
Yeah.
for the children.
Yeah.
That's really what it's all about, Pope.
Yeah, you realize that I had like uncontrollable vomiting last year when I ate
But
Taco Bell,
for
right?
the kids.
But you got better.
You're still alive.
And the kids will get better too.
Oh my god.
Were you hospitalized?
I could have been.
Well, you weren't. So therefore,
I wasn't.
We're good.
You were fine.
All right, so you're suggesting that one of our incentive goals is a Pope Bear Holtzman Taco
Bell eating
contest.
Yes.
Like the most tacos in like 2 minutes.
Yes.
Well,
Oh,
that's fine.
man.
I'll
Damn.
just say he won and not eat it.
You're only allowed to
Oh,
Well
that's
played,
not
Pope.
fun.
You might want to keep that one in your pocket till the moment of.
Now we know.
You only get to wash
hey,
it down
so-
with Baja Blast.
Yeah.
Yes,
Baja
yes.
Blast is
We,
the essential ingredient.
I could enter into good negotiations for that. Obviously, it's for the kids, and that's like the least like tasty thing I want to do while I'm there. But there's only two catches. One, we will have to have it at the booth.
So you can procure puke buckets.
It's gonna have to be it's gonna have to be recorded.
DCP branded puke
Of
buckets.
Oh,
Waste
my
bin,
God.
double as a puke bucket.
I get to decide the value amount, the goal.
That's fine.
I mean, we hit $60,000 last year to get Shake Your Fantasy done live by Tefty and memes.
Oof.
I mean,
I think we can best that, don't you?
All right.
I think so.
Well, so let me
think so.
consider that. I know the chat would be. I know people in our community would be jazzed about that. Watts, I hate you. I can't even believe you. That's horrible.
Maybe
I mean, you
top
could go the
donator gets
other-
the puke bucket. They get to bring
Oh,
the
yeah.
puke bucket.
There you go.
Souvenir.
Beautiful. There you go.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, or you could have Patrick teach you magic for an hour
Ooh.
as an incentive.
No, see that.
Oh,
That's
I'd rather eat the tacos.
Taco Bell and get sick than play 1 second of magic.
You know
Look at
what?
him.
I miss Patrick so much. I think I could actually put up with that for an hour. So that's not so much of a down thing.
I choose
So-
projectile vomiting.
It's gonna be fun to see him. He's
Yeah,
gonna
that,
be
that
there.
would actually be fun to do a magic thing with him.
Yeah.
You get
Yeah, no, it
like
would be-
hammered
I
drunk
gotta-
and play magic with Holtz, you know?
Oh, man, dude. that
You
would be
had me
dumb.
at hammered.
He's trying to explain stuff to you, and you're just like,
No, so
Yeah.
what we do
I don't
is
know.
Southern Earth.
we
Yeah.
we inside of his deck of cards, we mix up, cards for humanity, cards against humanity, like cards inside of his playing
Ooh,
deck.
wow.
Yeah.
and then he has to do a thing. On
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
He has to
Guys,
This
act
sounds
out.
great. This sounds like better magic.
I gotta apologize, guys. I accidentally called up the wrong podcast tonight.
Oh yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, this is awkward.
Right?
Sweet Dick Willie's here. My bad. Might as well keep him on for the rest of the show. He plays Destiny.
Yeah.
He
I was
plays
just hanging
Destiny.
out. Saw you guys
Wilson-
hanging out. I figured I'd join.
Thank you very much for jumping on the show. We've been excited to have you on. We've been talking about this for weeks now.
Yeah, I've first of all, thank you for having me on. But yeah, you guys have been talking me up on the DCP side quest or whatever, making me blush in my car ride on my way to work after listening. So it's great to be here, man. I've been long time listener.
So apparently you have this, reputation of being a nice guy, but I know the true toxic nature of Sweet Dick Willie, and tonight
Toxic Willie.
we are going to uncover the toxic nature of Wilson on this podcast in front of everybody. That's my reason for having you on, to expose you.
It's an expose.
It's an expose. You've been trapped.
He already declared war on me before the podcast even started. Like, I
Wow.
5
Typical
minutes
Pope
in.
Bear.
Yeah.
It's good.
Is the 309 your toxicity level? Is that what it is?
Yes.
How high
it-
the level of toxicity has gotten?
I didn't really think about it before I made my PSN and Xbox way back in the day, but it's my area code, so it's not.
I always thought you were a big fan of Formula 409, but that one was already taken.
Yeah, and I
Well,
don't like the underscore and the XXs next to the name.
No.
I just figured that
it's just-
Wilson 308 was taken, and he just went through all of them. Eventually got to one that he liked.
I'm the
Wilson,
309th.
nope. Wilson
yeah.
1, nope. Wilson 2, nope.
Wilson 3, nope.
309
The 309th rendition.
There's a
Available.
lot of Wilsons out there.
Yeah, there is.
Well,
Absolutely.
tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do in the community? How do people know you? What is it to be Wilson in the Destiny community?
Day in the life of Wilson.
So a day in the life of Wilson. I don't know if we can talk about a lot of that, but anyway,
Legally obligated to leave things out.
for reasons. But no, I feel like I just represent a lot of people in the chat. I'm your average Destiny player. Like, I don't stream. I don't do YouTube content. I'm like everyone else right now in chat. That's in every other chat, hanging out, trying to be positive, make it a cool place to hang out in the Destiny community. And got started out way back in vanilla with some guys called TowerLife was our clan, and made it all the way up into D2 and got an offer to be in Pope's clan, Resolute. Not by Pope, obviously.
No.
He's
No.
toxic.
No,
But
I don't even know who you are.
and it even before then, I guess I really didn't try to make my mark on the Destiny scene as just your average nice guy, but gets around to all the chats really until I met Briar. And kind of a funny story about that. Me and my friends actually ran into him in the Division in the Dark Zone, and he was getting gunned down by some other players. So we gunned them down, got him up, turned our back, and Briar shot us both in the back.
No
Took
joke.
a hit.
I've never seen a Briar do a thing like
Briar
that
would
before.
never do that.
Never.
That's
no,
how I met
not our
Rabbit.
Briar.
That was my first experience.
So
I was
toxic.
mugged in the Dark Zone,
Yeah.
You were down on your luck,
and
or Briar was down on luck, and then flipped it around and took your gear.
That
And then I
is-
put it in a YouTube video too.
so I was like, all right, I'm gonna go in this dude's chat room, and told him about it. And of course, we laughed it off or whatever, and just started playing with Briar, and just got to know a lot of people. Got to know all you guys through Briar, and Resolute has also been a good portal towards getting to know lots of people. And it's like I said, I just represent everyone that's in chat. You're always in everyone's Twitch channels talking and wanting to play with the streamers and stuff like that, and that's kind of what I do.
It's more than that. Wilson is being modest. Wilson is that guy in chat who's just he's always positive. You're always happy to see him. I gotta say, I told him this before the podcast too, but we have relatively famous people in the YouTube and Twitch community come on this podcast, and we often get questions for them in the Twitter questions. But I've never seen so many questions directed directly at a guest than I've seen for Wilson tonight. It's got to be 25% of the questions, in total, were just for Wilson. That's
That's
Good to
awesome.
see
That's
my
a connection
alt
on a
accounts
deep
are being
level.
used.
What's that?
It's good to see that I got use out of my alt accounts.
Pope's bots.
Pope bots. They're
bots.
everywhere. They're everywhere.
Truth is, I'm trying to figure out what the secret to Wilson so I can replicate it and not be some toxic on the podcast.
So you can be well liked by the
right.
listeners.
All I care
Yeah.
about is being liked right now.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So
Good luck with that.
I
Good
got
luck
the
with that, Pope.
glasses. I got the hat. Right.
You got it going
Two
on.
halfway
ingredients.
there.
Yeah.
So Wilson, how'd you get into Destiny? What got you involved in the Destiny community?
Played Halo, a lot of Halo.
Nice.
So once, like everyone else, when you realized Bungie was putting on another game, we were interested. But a lot of my boys from TowerLife, we played.
Hold on, Wilson. We got to
Star-
clarify something real quick. Did you armor lock in? Did you armor lock?
100%.
Did you do it?
100%.
Wait, you armor locked?
100%, dude. I'm toxic.
Can I
Well, it's been a great podcast, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out tonight.
Yeah.
We're gonna see you next week. It's been real.
The show's over.
100% I armored lock. Are you kidding me? I'm in it to win it. Anyway, but me and a bunch of guys from TowerLife used to play Star Wars The Old Republic. And we heard that there was going to be raids in a first-person shooter. And we liked doing raids in Star Wars The Old Republic. So we had like 12, 15 people in our clan before the game even came out. So, I mean, from day one, I feel like I got the very best experience that I could out of Destiny leading up to today. You know what I mean? Like, clans are important and a lot of fun. And but it instantly, after playing the beta, like, I was like, man, I know this is going to be a game I'm going to sink a lot of time into. And thousands of hours later, here we are. So
it's more than just like being a part of the group, though, Wilson. Like, something that I've recognized with you in our Rezo group is just how to engage in a clan, right? How to be a part of, because a lot of people, when we're talking about and we're promoting, because Destiny is played best with friends, is we're saying join clans as a way of jumping in and getting to know people, but they're joining a clan and not being successful in contributing to that clan. So talk a little bit about maybe how a positive member of a clan, contributes or, gets the most out of that experience.
Make yourself available. If you make yourself available. If you see a bunch of people that are always wanting to do activities, but nobody really kind of wants to step up, just step up and be in charge of organizing something, getting people together, finding out the best night for everyone to meet up and knock the raid out or get some escalation protocol done. And, when you're chasing the DFA in the nightfall, don't back out right when you get yours. You know what I mean? There's so many, dude, it took me 34 hours to get that thing. And so many people had it and I didn't. And there were so many people that helped me run it that had already had it. You know what I mean? And they didn't want to be in there any more than I wanted to be in there, after 34 hours. And, just things like that. And outside of the game, you know what I mean? If just talking about real life and hanging out and, goes beyond the game, in my opinion, being a good clan member and just trying to be positive and be there for people and best you can. Yeah.
You got to engage.
Don't be
you
toxic.
You got to be a part of it, right?
You got to engage. That's the best way to say it, man. Yeah, you
got to engage. There's a Discord, there's a chat, you got to be, you got to connect with people.
You get back what you put into it. That's hard for some people. Right? The more you put into it, generally the more you're going to get back. If you're just there for a one-off, you're going to get treated that way too. It's like, oh, we'll just kind of passing by. So just like you said, if you kind of make yourself known and either organize stuff or help people organize stuff, then it really sets a precedent and people pay attention to that stuff.
Yeah, and it's got to be. You can't just show up to ask people for an LFG. Your clan can't be your LFG. You got to be able to contribute, talk, get to know people, and then and it's a social. It's a place to be social. So I think I think Briar's right. You connect. You're more than you're part of those members of a community that help create the glue that binds, right? The connection, and that's an important part of a clan, an important part of a group. And we really appreciate you coming on and being and representing that voice here. I know we got what do we got? We got a THWAB or a TWAB, guys?
I'm saying it's a THWAB.
Yeah, a little THWAB-ish.
It's a little THWABby.
It's gray area.
I'm THWABing a little. I'm THWABing.
Yeah, it's Aaron on the THWAB side. There's some stuff in there.
It is Aaron on the THWAB side.
It's not hard THWABing. It's like a soft THWAB.
Limp THWAB.
Oh man,
it's a limp THWAB.
Yeah,
like a minor THWAB, like a the telltale THWAB. All right, let's get into it, guys. What do you think?
Yeah, let's do it.
Hit me with the deets.
Give it
all
to
right.
us.
The faction rally thing was pretty
Hit me with the
interesting.
THWAB.
actually.
Cue Briar Rabbit.
The faction rally was a surprise to a lot of people.
Oh yeah, I gotta say, I was surprised to read that. I was like, wait, we just had Jalal, parade around the tower about how awesome Dead Orbit is, and now we're gonna do it again right away.
And
Didn't
not
they
only
say
that,
it's only gonna be there's only gonna be 3 of them
they
too?
said there's only going to be
Yeah,
3.
No.
back to
But we're
back?
June. Yeah, it's weird.
What?
I wonder if people didn't make as much progress as they thought
So
they
maybe
would.
they're going to do more.
So they
I'm like I got up to 23, I think, or 25 maybe
Casual.
tops.
Casual.
Casual,
Hell
man.
like casual.
Do you do Destiny, bro?
I mean, I do. I do as much as I can.
So Faction Rally's coming back Tuesday, June 26th, which is basically next week, right? Today's the 21st, is that right?
Today's the 21st,
Yeah.
first day of summer. Happy summer
So
equinox.
next week, thank you.
Or
Thank you very
solstice.
much.
Longest day
One
of
of
the
those
year.
two.
Yeah, solstice.
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 Briar, are you okay?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. It's coming back.
No. There's more. There's more.
The-
So usually with faction rally, you would get the winner's offering put into the loot pool the next time around.
Yep.
So a lot of people were like, I'm going to do Dead Orbit, get Graviton, Lance Catalyst, and I'm going to go Future War Cult so I can get that sidearm.
Right.
It's not working like that
It's not
anymore.
gonna
If
work
you
that
want to
way.
get that winner's offering, they have to win
Yep.
to get that gun.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yep.
not cool, man.
It's
Yeah.
Never going to get that Future War Cult gun, guys.
Right?
It's never going to happen.
You don't think so? You don't think they're going to win this time? I think
They
they
have
are.
to.
I
I
hope
mean, they
Future
came
War Cult wins this
third.
time.
I was really surprised.
I think all the kids from Hot Topic are going to move over once it closes down.
Yeah, it's
and
closing
go
down.
over to the Church of Future War Cult.
Yes.
and
Praise.
do good work.
Yeah.
Turn in tokens.
the doors are open.
Well, maybe
Always.
people will actually now judge the gun. Like, which gun's the best? I really want to get that. Let me pledge to that faction.
Well, I think it's going to be based on Catalyst collection. So I think the next popular
Yeah.
Catalyst is definitely Sunshot that people are going to want.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah,
Lack
you don't think
Me.
the sweet business has the pull? I mean, it was the second most popular in the last one.
Yeah, but that's I think
I
that
mean,
was
a
just
lot
like
of
fashion.
a lot of people play on console, and hand cannons aren't that good on console.
Dude, I recently played on console with the Midnight Coup. It was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
crispy.
Yeah, I was surprised.
You use the best gun as an example, though.
So?
He just wants everyone to know.
90% of the other ones are trash.
And?
So it's good.
He's just got to remind everyone that he has multiple midnight coups across multiple
Dude,
platforms.
that
So-
Midnight Coup, I'm pretty sure is circa September. That's about as like, yeah. Well, I got it pretty early on PS4.
You did.
Yeah.
That's why you were shaming everyone.
No, they weren't that good then. Remember? So I kind of I set it aside, but then when I got on PC, I suddenly went on a journey to spread the good word of the coup. Let everybody know.
Pilgrimage.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Well, and also then they did the changes for console for hand cannons on console. Remember when it was just really really bad on console? Now they're better. And again, the Midnight Coup on console definitely feels like usable.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm excited. I'm so excited there's a quick turnaround because I'm really hopeful that maybe this time I can get the SunShot Catalyst completed. I know last week I was, saying that I did Dead Orbit, but I didn't. I did Future War Cult. I was just trying to. There was nobody representing the winning faction here, so I had to take it and own it and shame you all. But the reality is that I'm Future War Cult. I'm really excited to get the SunShot. I'm looking forward to it. I am. I mean, can we get the DCP troll?
Troll face?
in
I
chat
totally
right
went.
now. Yeah,
I totally went.
That's
Dead
what the
Orbit.
devil horns are for.
Who's here, guys?
I
Hello?
guess I'll be right back.
Amazon delivery?
Hello. Oh my gosh, that's the one. That's the emblem.
So what's interesting about this is that they're doing this back to back. This actually kind of makes me excited, guys, because if you think about it, if they are sticking to 3 faction rallies, that means that the next faction rally is likely it's likely to hit in July at some point. And that might mean that there's some special stuff planned for August, like a little preview.
Yeah, everything every week.
A little taste of Gambit, one map for a week, or maybe like they changed the weapon system before, like a couple weeks beforehand.
Oh.
Yeah. Summer events happening. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Do you think we're going to have like that awkward, like 1 week limbo stage that we had before Taken King? Yeah.
I think so. It would be really smart for them to bring a 1 week meta in. Like I said, try out Gambit or something, or switch the weapon system early so we don't have the Forsaken weapons yet. But they, I think Noosk, I think Noosk said that maybe it was Hamrick. I can't remember. One of them said that they were going to affect placements for year one weapons as well. They were going to get like shuffled around. So that shuffling might actually happen a week or two before Forsaken, possibly.
That would be fun. Bring back Rift. Guess what? Guess what? We went back to D1.
I heard about this.
Yeah.
We went to D1. We got in a private match. We loaded up Rift. It was so much fun.
Rift is fun.
It was incredibly fun. You shoot guns, and they go where you're aiming. It's some kind of Christmas miracle.
What was your loadout? Yeah.
Yikes.
What my frame?
It's so weird. It's weird. Like the hit registration is just better in Destiny 1.
Interesting.
Yeah. On everything. If you use the worst guns that were towards the end of D1, the worst guns, hand cannons, they still feel better than the best hand cannons in D2. It's crazy. And then I'm using like scout rifles, I'm using pulse rifles, and all of them just feel like they actually connect. They have some kind of better hit detection on them.
It's crazy. Like, how can...
It's weird.
Why would they do that? If like, I wonder if there's actually like evidence that they actively tried to make weapons feel a little bit worse in D2 to have more gaps.
So I do know for a fact that they lowered aim assist across the board. And the thing is, with console gaming, there's a sweet spot of aim assist that just makes the guns feel good, right? They feel, that's what gives them the crisp feeling, is that they have that aim assist to them. And I know for a fact they took that away. I don't know what else they did. The Bungie feel, exactly. And even in the game, so I know that D2 is different, but this was a huge eye-opener of you are dying much faster than Destiny 2, but due to the movement that you have available to you, you can get out of trouble easier than Destiny 2. So I can run into a line of, 6 people looking down a sight line in D1, and I can get out of that, even though the time to kill is faster. Because I have the movement modes available to me to do that. Whereas in D2, you die faster, but those team shots feel more deadly because I can't, once you go past that corner, you have much less available to you to get out of the way.
You have to go past the corner and then some. Because bullets do travel around the corner in D2. So
it's true.
It's good.
That's the other thing, right? Nah, it's highlighted in Destiny. It is.
Especially with Vigilance Wing. That gun will always catch you around corners. But it was definitely eye-opening. Being able to jump around and outplay people 1v2, 1v3 with just the movement available to you. Shooting and just boom, boom, boom. Someone dying. It's so satisfying. You feel fast. You feel powerful. You feel in control. You feel confident going into a gunfight knowing that you can take people down. It's a world of difference.
It's interesting. I was playing Iron Banner last night, and I've gotten in the habit now. I've been conditioned at this point with Destiny 2, where if I happen to slide around the corner and I see 2 or more enemies, I immediately assume I'm dead. Like you
just grab your ankle.
There's not even there's no chance unless they completely miss all their shots at me, or I happen to be a red bar god to them for some reason, which I shouldn't because I got fiber optic internet, right? And that's a crappy feeling, honestly. Like I don't want to have to come up to a corner and be like, check my 6. I'm gonna peek the corner.
You gotta emote every
There's 2
corner,
enemies.
man.
I'm backing up. I've gotten used to peeking, get shot once, and run away, and that playstyle is boring. Yeah.
It's so crazy. I'm just sitting there and I'm like, what happened?
Yeah.
Because this is so different. You're so much slower, you sound slower, you feel heavier, bullets don't connect as well, your abilities don't come back as fast, and it's crazy. I know a lot of people are like, I don't want to fast the time to kills, I'm gonna die so quickly. It's like, but in Destiny 1, it is so much faster, but they give you all these things for you to use to get out of trouble.
You got the tools.
And I much prefer that. It gives people the confidence to run in there and not just have to stick with their teammates.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm gonna say that I prefer where we are now with Destiny 2. And I hear what you're saying with Destiny 1 and the way it feels, the gunplay.
Hope you should clarify that real quick. With the prefer, what do you prefer about right now? Just so people know, because like that could be like, how could you want, like so clarify.
So what
you
I prefer is the way that they've approached the overall game experience, like where we are right now in Destiny 2. I think we're going in a better direction than where we were with D1. I feel like the lore and how the story is going to, is being put into the game more. I think the approaches and direction they're taking with D2 are more meaningful for me as a player. There are some things of D1 that I lament.
But what
losing.
about the PvP though?
Yeah, we're talking like
we're talking
specifically
PvP right
about PvP.
Yeah, okay. So in PvP, I had more fun in D1 than in D2 with PvP.
Briar's out.
Briar's had
He's
enough.
had enough of this.
He's had enough.
He's
Well,
like-
He's like, I'm done with this conversation.
kicked him out of the
No.
call, so it's good. I knew he was going to say something, and I didn't want to fight with him, so I just bounced him out.
I agree with you, Watts. Like there is just, they took away the special magic to be able to get you in to fights and have that crazy thing happen that makes people excited to play it, because there is horrible lag in Destiny. The peer-to-peer system is a brilliant system for PvE, and it just straight up is bad for PvP. It's obvious. We've played enough Destiny that we know now that their networking system isn't good for that. And D1, we accepted it because there was nothing else like that. In D2, they took away those things, and now it's like, how about a crappy netcode mixed in with a system that you essentially sentences you to death if you step out in front of 2 or 3 more people in a lane?
I think you guys are missing some of the things that we had in D1 that we hated. Right?
No, I know. I know we had a lot of things that hated,
There's a lot
but
of
I'm
shit
saying
in D1 that we
the
hated.
the feel of D1. That when I play D2, I don't really like the gunplay that much in PvP. It doesn't feel as crisp. It doesn't feel concise. It doesn't. I don't go into a gunfight against multiple people. I'm like, I got this because I know where I'm shooting. It's gonna go and it's gonna feel good. I know that I have the abilities and the movement to get out of these situations. In D1, you just feel this feeling of empowerment when you're fighting other players. You're like, I have all these things available to me. Even in-air accuracy is so good in D1. You can jump
really
in the
is.
air and you can shoot people. And
I guess the thing, the part that I'm
crazy
arguing,
difference.
the part that I'm talking about is not. So I guess I could say yes, I agree with what you're saying. That's more your realm than mine, Watts. I'm not skilled enough to really feel the difference, to be honest with you. I mean, with higher end players, I guess you're probably going to have that experience and feel the difference. But I can honestly say for me, it really doesn't feel all that different. But for me, the getting grenaded with firebolts and getting the thorn shot and bleeding out through damage over time, to every other thing that you can think of, the one shot, Ephrodite spear, the Fellwinter's lie, I can keep naming things from D1 and just keep going for the next 20 minutes.
And it was unbalanced, but it was fun.
Exactly.
Like we were sitting there
I'm not
bitching
trying to
about
get-
Thorn and one shots and all this stuff, but I was still playing. My friends were still playing. Ian didn't quit and be like, nah, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
We were
Yeah,
still
right.
going in there. We were bitching
there's
about it, but we still had a good
There's a
time.
way they could have made that way better, though.
Oh yeah,
than what
so
they
I
did.
think what they did right is they went too far the other way
That's
with
right.
D2,
I
and they
agree.
slow it down, slow down ability, slow down time to make everything slower. When I think ultimately what we kind of just needed was, okay, let's take away one-shot fusion grenades that have insane magnetism to them. Let's get rid of these outliers, the one-shot Ephrodites, which they did deal with, but get rid of these outliers that just feel kind of cheap.
Yeah.
But keep
Yeah.
everything else the same. The time to kill, the movement, the crispiness on weapons. I think we would have been fine.
Yeah, instead they
feel like
just
the big
boiled it down
difference
to the
for-
end of D1 where it was like fusions, sidearms, and icebreaker.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the meta.
I feel like the big difference
Hey,
for
Brian.
me was is map design has been
It's
a
a
huge
big
thing
difference,
too.
too.
A lot of
Yeah.
the new
Yeah.
maps promote those campy long lane buddy system maps, and then you go to things like the Burnout or Distant Shore or whatever, and they play kind of differently. I mean, don't get me wrong, you're still going to get a lot of that campy like team shoutiness, but it seems to happen a lot less because people, I don't know, man, it's just something about this new map design I'm just not feeling. I love it when they bring back all the old maps. Like they
Yeah.
just play so much better, even with, you know, what we were talking about. But another thing as far as gunplay, snipers just feel so vastly different. And I don't know if a lot of that is in map design because there's more verticality now. And it's not just, you know, like Pantheon where it's one long hallway where the ground is the same height damn near the whole way down the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So there's, yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how it all changes when we get that that new weapon system. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah.
You know, I'm excited
With
about
potentially a time to kill change too.
it. Yeah. I'm excited about it. I think it's going to, with the new supers, it's going to shake things up for sure. But I think fundamentally there's still going to be the problems that exist with the fact like the current map design, the feel of the like what Watts was saying, the feel of being able to counter certain things, your movement speed, those like the toolkit to be able to get out of that, like suddenly you're a 3v1 situation. In D1, unless everybody was automatically pointed at you immediately, like you had options to be able to maneuver like a 3v1. In D2, like I said,
Definitely.
as soon as you pop out that corner, you are dead. If they have aim skill at all, you're dead on there. And
Yeah.
it's those things along with the fact that they want to balance the sandbox around PvP, but fundamentally they don't want to give PvP a tick rate of at least 60 on dedicated servers to make everything feel consistent. Because a huge thing that happens is you play one match and everything's crispy, and then you play the next match and half your magazine just doesn't register because lag. And that doesn't make for a good experience, especially if you're in the comp. Like if your wins count for a comp rating and you go up against a team that is having that issue, that's going to put a sour taste. How many sour tastes is that going to accumulate before you essentially give up on the PvP? And then the population starts
Yeah.
draining because of that feeling.
Yeah.
So some of the, you know, I think right off the gate we started talking about some like, hey, Destiny 2 is not as great as Destiny 1, and you know, I can respect that argument as a way of informing and improving D2, but I feel like we're in a place where D2 is the game we've got and what we're playing right now, and you know, there's a lot of people that are still playing D1. And that's great, but I'd like to continue to make constructive feedback and continue to improve D2 so that we can all come back and play a game that we enjoy.
Mhm.
The thing that I'm looking at is in the THWAB, they talk about some of the exotic changes to armor that are supposed to help make some of these changes happen. And I kind of want to talk about if this is the types of changes that we want to see that make the game reach that potential that we want to reach, right? So, do you guys want to take a look at that?
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Is that a good
Yeah.
segue?
absolutely.
You want to start with hunters?
Yeah.
Let's
Let's start with the most
balanced
exhilarating.
Yeah,
the most exhilarating changes.
Class.
Right.
All right. First off,
Think
we
you
got
need
the
to mute yourself.
lucky.
Someone's not
guy.
muted.
Oh, my bad, guys.
I just heard. It was great.
Yeah, that laugh, but twice.
Yeah.
The first thing we got is the Lucky Raspberry. Increased chance to fully recharge your arc bolt grenade on arc bolt grenade hits. It guarantees a recharge on getting a full chain that hits 4 targets. So if you hit 4 targets with arc bolt grenade, then it guarantees an arc bolt grenade recharge. While just about everybody could appreciate the theoretically infinite grenades Lucky Raspberry could generate, its purely random nature made many people shy away from it. With this change, your input will now affect the outcome, so plan your throws accordingly.
This could be fun in PvE.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Like I know you want to use Radiant Flux, right? And you can even switch to that for the boss, right, or something. But it's gonna be fun going into PvE and just throwing a grenade into just a massive group of enemies, and then just keep throwing grenades. That'll be fun in PvE.
Yeah, big packs of thrall. Oh man, there's gonna be
that's
grenades.
gonna be fun.
It's gonna be good. Did it say it has to kill? It has to kill 4 or just tag?
It just has to hit.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, hits 4 targets.
Hits.
Yeah.
No, that's gonna be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can just stand there and just lob grenades. That'll be fun.
Spam nades. Yeah.
So it makes Lucky Raspberry relevant in PvE.
I don't know. Does it?
I mean,
It makes it more relevant if you want to be using. It gives you more opportunities to play different types of classes. What I'm looking for is ways
To
that you
play in
can
a
play
different way.
differently, right?
Yeah. How many situations are you going to be in that you're going to be able to like really proc that? I mean, there's definitely times in PvE where you get like kind of rushed by a group of thralls, but like I don't know. I just don't see this. Maybe I could see it getting pretty used in the first raid lair when you're in that like last final boss fight and there's just like these massive groups of enemies that kind of come at you. I guess I could see it being used then.
Maybe it'll be good in Gambit for clearing out those. I mean, I don't know, for clearing out.
Well, they all
those
spawn in
packs
one
of
area,
ads.
so if you can preemptively get to that area where they're spawning
that
in,
could be fun.
they spawn
and you
in
can save
large
your
groups.
super.
It's gonna be you're really gonna be looking to chain those 4 targets. So otherwise, it's really gonna be kind of
Yeah, escalation protocols are probably another good place.
Yeah, I'd say if your super isn't up, if you want to do this kind of management and your super isn't up, being able to swap back and forth between that and Radiant Flux would actually be a good combo because you're going to run Arc Bolt anyways, right? So you run Arc Bolt, keep on throwing nades, you get your super up, you put on Radiant Flux to be able to swap to any kind of meat sponge, bullet sponge type of boss or mini boss, and then keep rotating back and forth.
Yeah.
Next up is the Stomp Ease. Increased benefits when using strafe jump and triple jump. The usage rate of Stomp Ease in the Crucible was fairly good, but since it mostly affected high jump, people were somewhat pigeonholed if they wanted to change up their air game. So the other double jump variants were tweaked to have more impact.
What are the air benefits?
Really?
What are the jump benefits?
It
It
just
makes
makes
you
go
jump
higher.
higher.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm assuming with the strafe jump, like you can kind of choose what direction you're jumping at. Like you can jump forward once and then jump back like very quickly. I'm assuming you're gonna go like farther and faster. I really wanted this to be Bones of AO.
Same.
I wanted an extra jump.
Something.
I got really excited when I saw it and then bummed when I read it.
I was hoping that maybe we'd get something like Lion Rampants as well. Like maybe you get increased inner accuracy firing from the hip specifically. Just this is basically like, oh, now it also works with the other jumps. That's more like a bug fix more than like making a change to an exotic to make it exciting. Like I don't read that and go, ooh. I'm like, oh, okay.
That's straight up how I took it too, Watts.
See it.
I read that and I was like, shouldn't that have been the case to begin with?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah, it feels like the armor passes that we've been like hoping for would be sexier than this.
Yeah.
A little sexier. This is a little
I feel like
little
they were
prudish.
sexier last time.
They were.
They were
that's what
very
I'm
sexy
saying.
last time.
we got sexy last time. Now we're just getting like cute.
Yeah, we're getting the let's
We're getting
save
the
these for
granny
later.
panties this time.
Yeah.
You think it's granny panties?
Yeah, we got sexy lingerie last time.
We
this time
did.
we're getting granny panties.
Yeah.
No, I don't even think that. I think it's just like Hanes, like the packages of white, just regular underwear, not even, granny pants.
Yeah, it really needed something else. Like you said, Watts, if it had like hip fire accuracy added to it, or maybe every time you proc that extra jump, it helps reset your dodge cooldown quicker or something. Like, it needed some sort of synergistic perk to it to make it be like, ooh, maybe I should use Stomp Ease instead of my Worm Husk. JK.
Right.
Obviously, having
Just
a health
kidding.
potion on cooldown's the greatest thing ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Health
I mean,
potion.
yeah.
I love that. That's perfect.
Well, that's
Absolutely
what I've been
perfect.
calling it.
Throw down a
The-
health pot.
in-air accuracy would have been really nice because Titans kind of have an option for it with the Lion boots, and then Warlocks have it in Dawnblade with their melee charge. So it would have been kind of cool to give Hunter an in-air accuracy buff to something, but
Those would have been perfect. Stomp Ease.
you know,
Yeah.
And here's
Fits
something that
perfectly.
really pissed me off, and I'm not gonna hold back on this one. The only reason why I enjoyed playing Hunter was for running Golden Gun and unicorning people.
Yeah.
Okay, with Tripmines, and they took that away, and it took away my joy from
did.
playing that.
Even
When
throwing
I
knives aren't
started
as fun in
reading,
D2.
when I started
Good
reading
God,
Young
they're bad.
Ahamkaram's Spine, I started getting like
I know.
excited.
I
They're gonna
felt
let
that
me
for
stick
Stomp
people.
Ease.
They're gonna let me stick people. No.
So Young Ahamkara's Spine, they removed the marking functionality. They improved the
Yeah.
Tripmine grenade's blast radius and throw speed and made it so your Tripmine grenades are harder to destroy. Solar ability hits now grant some Tripmine grenade energy. The marking functionality, while useful in some circumstances, such as in the Crucible, did not have much merit in PvE, so we removed it to head in a better direction. Now your Tripmine grenades are punchier and you can get access to them faster.
This is going to be
it's
one of
like-
these you got to test type of things to see how powerful it's going to be.
Well, I mean, I like that the trip mines last longer and are harder to kill. That's great.
Mhm.
I just don't think that they really like the joy of trip mines. I understand the purpose of them, but if we're going into a direction, and maybe it wasn't being able to unicorn people, stick people with them. I still believe sticking people with a grenade is, and it wasn't even magnetized like the fusion grenade.
That's
wasn't.
You
what
actually-
the thing about it was. That it
You
wasn't
actually had to have
magnetized.
skill to hit people with it.
yeah, nobody really complained about it. Like when I came rolling around a corner and somebody unicorned me, I was just like, GG.
All right,
dude.
Yeah.
yeah,
all
dude,
right.
you nailed me with
Congrats on.
it. You nailed me. With
All right,
Yeah.
this is how it's
And
gonna be.
And
Like
it paired well. It paired well with a knife throw, right? Like if you could aim
did.
your knives, you could aim your trip mines. You should be, you know.
dude, trip mines do a buttload of damage in D2. Don't they do like 150 or something stupid if you are close enough to one of them?
Really? I actually don't know. I'm
Pretty sure.
I haven't used
They
one in a
don't.
long
They
time.
don't. They
I don't know.
don't. They don't kill people. I mean, they do some
they
damage,
don't,
but I mean, they increase the blast radius, right?
that's what I'm saying. If
They
it does
did.
like $150 and it's a bigger blast radius, that's not too bad.
I
Yeah.
want to stick people, Wilson.
Fair enough, dude. I want to unicorn people too. I agree
Okay.
with you. All right, we
Yeah.
can agree on that tonight.
Yeah, that was a,
Yeah,
that was a sad
we'll agree
day.
on that.
All right.
That was one of those days where Holtz was he was in a mood, that podcast.
He was.
Didn't they? Wasn't that the same day they nerfed the throwing knife too?
I think so, right?
I think it
Like, there
was.
was a bunch of
dark
them that
day.
came through
It was a
that day.
Dark day for
Yeah.
Holtzman.
Real quick, let's talk about the
Dark day
throwing
for
knife
hunters.
just real quick because I've been using it in
Yeah.
Iron Banner because hit registration sometimes with Arc Strider is just a little aggravating. So I decided to use Golden Gun instead for those super kills. And there's been multiple times where I'd grenade somebody, then chuck a knife, and it looked like the knife hit him right in the head. And I swear to God, it does like 0 damage. It's like I'm throwing rubber chicken knives at them, just bounces right off. Like, I just don't understand how it can be that
That's an
bad.
exotic that I want. I want an exotic that gives you a rubber chicken knife.
That would be pretty cool. I'll buy that from Tess, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Like how
Yeah, they're not good.
how did they make it from D1 throwing knives to then like, it was bad at the end to now just being like, well, you should have known not to melee because obviously that's a throwaway ability right there.
Yeah, they're like plastic china, plastic butter knives
Mhm.
now. Is basically what they are. Yeah, they are. And every now and then you get one. Like I'll actually go to melee someone and I'll accidentally throw my knife.
And it does nothing.
And well, every now and then you do get that one that'll hit the guy and kill him. Like I hear what you're saying. They need to do more damage because they're. I mean, they do have a little bit of aim assist on them, but I mean, relatively, like they take a little bit of skill and timing to pull off.
Do they take longer to throw now too?
The animation for throwing it.
Yeah.
It kind of
Yeah.
seems like you linger in it after you throw it a
Little
little
bit.
longer.
It wouldn't
like, not the
surprise me if that
actual-
was slow
Yeah.
down as well, honestly.
It doesn't. I understand the area effect.
I've actually had more
Um,
kills with the area effect than the actual hit
Right.
of the
So,
knife.
Yeah.
so my suggestion has been like that if you hit anywhere but a precision headshot, you get an area effect, right? If you hit a headshot, all the damage goes into the headshot, and could kill somebody in a one shot. I don't know. There's some skills that I feel like should be honored as a one hit kill. And I don't know if I feel like if you're skillful enough to throw a throwing knife and hit somebody in the head, you should get that. You should be.
If
honored
it did
with that
like
kill.
even if it did like 150 to the head, like as a precision shot, so it was like you could go back to that like one shot
Hand cannon with
hand
their throwing
cannon,
knife.
then throw a knife.
That's true.
That was fun.
Mhm.
Like that was.
It's about rewarding play styles, right? It's like
Yeah,
if you
exactly.
get really good with throwing knives and that's how you play, like that's what Patrick did. That's how he played the game. Then
good.
reward that. And that
I mean,
there was hardly anyone doing that. There was hardly anyone doing that. There was some people that really enjoyed that fantasy and it was good and it worked. And now it kind of feels like you are pigeonholed into playing a specific way with each of the classes. If
Yep.
you want to be competitive.
Yep.
Yeah, I really feel like they could have taken some of these exotic supers or exotic armor pieces. Like, we'll give more examples here. There's like lots more examples. And sorry if I didn't mean to cut you off, Tefty, but I really feel like they missed the mark on several of these with like some community needs, like community wants, right? With maybe Tripmines don't do, unicorn. You could still stick people and get 150 damage or something. Maybe it's
That'd be
not
nice.
a one hit kill, but
Stick them and follow up with
I
a
don't
shot.
know.
That'd be great. The thing,
that'd be cool.
The thing that this conversation's highlighting is that we need this stuff to happen in Forsaken. So we're getting 9 new supers, and I'm assuming maybe some changes to the classes. So if they could adjust these classes fundamentally to have some things happen like that, so we get more play styles like that are unique, or just more edge case play styles with the neutral game, then it's gonna be better. It's gonna be better than what we have.
it's high risk, high reward. I mean, you got to be able
Agreed.
to, if you're running around with throwing knives and trip mines and stuff, there's a lot of downside if you miss. You're gonna lose. You're gonna get melted. So if you're, it's just a high risk, high reward. You should be getting the top marks for that. Anyway,
Titans get 3 new ones. ACD 0 feedback fence now grants Fury Conductor stacks on melee hits instead of kills. Fury Conductors now grant stacking melee damage resistance. These changes were mostly aimed at making Fury Conductors better in PvE encounters. While the feedback fence could protect you from the hordes of Thrall by keeping them staggered, it just wasn't that much use against something like a Hive Knight wielding a sword. The changes also make this exotic better in the Crucible, but the solution of just shooting opponents still works. And feedback fences were already pretty popular in the Crucible. I'll be interested to see those in the Crucible now.
And if you melee him, like try to melee him 3 times, like you're not going to win that melee engagement if you keep hitting them and they're meleeing you back.
That's what the feedback fences do, right? Is like they kind
do
of
pretty well.
They do, right? Is like
They
if you
build
get
up
into
charge
that
on it.
melee fight with somebody, then you'll often win it because your 2 melees is equal to their 3 because they took damage every time they did damage to you.
That's not necessary. That's what this is correcting. That's what it used to be in D1, and in D2 you had to get kills to stack the effect. You didn't. So here it's giving it. They're saying that the Fury Conductor now stacks off of hits instead of kills, which is something that I see as a positive change and makes it relevant because literally you had to get kills to get it stacked up, and then
That's how it works now, though. I mean, you can kill somebody in 2 shots now if they melee
if you're
you.
charged, right?
Right.
So the thing is, your charge builds off of kills. So they're just regular arms, right? Without getting hit or without getting kills with them. Then they charge this. Then you get this charge, and if somebody hits you, it will stagger them, right? And then you can hit them. So I don't know, man. It's like I stopped using them in D2. I just felt like they were really underwhelming, and I'm hoping that it. I don't know.
It'd be cool if these protected you from that blackout modifier and strikes. That'd be dope.
People in chat are saying that it's 0 charge still is a 2-hit melee kill.
Yeah, I felt like it was just going right off the bat, but I don't play Titan that often, so I'm not real positive about
Yeah,
it.
I stopped. I guess I should take a leather look at them, but they seemed underwhelming to me.
Doomfang Pauldrons, void melee kills now grant more super energy. Shield throw hits now extend the duration of your super. Titans have a lot of exotics that help with punching things. To differentiate this one from the rest of the herd, we've increased the impact this exotic has on your super and on how you use it.
It's kind of cool. Keep your shield for longer
Mm-hmm.
when you throw in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That'd be pretty good in Mayhem since you already get it back your shield so many times in Mayhem.
Yeah, that's true, huh?
That could be really good.
Well,
in
you could
Mayhem.
have your super for quite a while.
Yeah, you could be that guy.
Yeah.
You could be that guy.
Yeah. Briar likes being that guy.
Dune Marchers, reduce the time to activate linear actuators while you're sprinting to 1.5 seconds, down from 5 seconds. Increase the damage of the chain lightning effect, plus 70% in PvP, 440% in PvE.
yeah, baby.
Ooh.
While the lightning effect of Dune Marchers was novel, the time needed to start it up, and it's fairly low impact led many players are simply seeing these as the sprint pants.
Yep,
So we've made the lightning much more deadly and frequent.
I'm excited about this one. This is one that I'm gonna try out.
That actually
That's
sounds
it.
really good. 440% in PvE and 70 in PvP.
It's a big
70%.
buff for sure,
Man, that is huge.
numbers wise.
Yeah. Especially if you get people grouping up, and you come flying around that corner and give them the flying knee. And that could be pretty cool.
The tiger knee.
The tiger knee, tiger uppercut.
That honestly gets me killed more times. Maybe this will change that, but it gets you killed more times than it's worth. You feel like you have this great animation where you shoulder charge or knee into somebody, and then you're just standing there like, ah, and then the other person looks at you like barely hurt and goes, "What?" Bam, bam, and then you're dead.
So
You know,
it's still
it's
not going to
like-
be a one-shot kill, though, because this is just going to
Yeah.
chain lightning to the people around him, right?
Yeah.
So
I can tell you how many times I've got killed by that, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to run in there in a group by yourself and get to slapping.
Exactly.
It's hard to do that in D2.
There is very little options right now. One of them, it's like you have to have Dawn Blade active. You could survive that.
Yeah.
there's some applications with Dune Marchers and some of the solar classes, definitely in PvE, with melting point and being able to utilize it that way. But we'll see. I'm excited to use that one.
Warlock's got Crown of Tempests, collapse the total number of stacks of Conduction Tines to 3 with the same total effect, and each stack of Conduction Tines lowers the upkeep cost of Storm Trance. That's a odd sentence to
Honestly,
say.
I don't even. I'm so confused. I don't know what any of that. I don't know what we just
What
said,
does
Bar.
What does the Tempest do originally? Anybody know?
I don't know.
I don't
Yeah,
know what it did
I'm playing.
originally, but what I'm pulling from this is every time you get an arc ability kill, you get a stack, is what I'm assuming this is.
Okay.
And every time you get a 3 stack, it lowers the upkeep cost of Storm Trance. So I'm assuming when you hold R2 and you're doing the lightning, how much it's taking the bar away is the upkeep cost.
Okay.
I'm thinking, or how long you have the super is the upkeep cost. I'm not sure. That's what it sounded like to me.
You're the resident warlock, Tafty.
Me? It's strictly use Devour and Blink, and that's it.
I was gonna say you devoured just before you came on the podcast.
Pretty much.
snacking on
I had a
void
great date, and I was like,
grenades
I'm good to go.
Yeah.
The Karnstein armlets removed melee hit effects, resilience, mobility, target highlighting. Melee kills now instantly heal you, then grant continuous healing for 8 seconds. In this iteration of the Karnstein armlets, we simplified the exotic to be about death and healing. Previously, the effect was split between hits and kills, providing inconsistent experiences. While the effect is much more basic now, it should be more reliable and more effective in both situations.
This sounds pretty awesome.
That sounds pretty good.
I'm not gonna lie. So you basically, as long as you get a melee kill, you basically have a kind of a little mini devour going, kind of.
Instant healing.
Instant
Right, and then
heal, and then it
8
continuously
seconds.
heals
For
you.
8 seconds. Yeah.
Wow.
So even when people are shooting you, you're constantly healing, right? So
As long
you
as you get
can
that melee
smack
kill.
someone, you get instant health, and then you can keep shooting them, and your health bar is just going up.
Yeah.
that would
As long
win
as you get that melee
quite a
kill.
few exchanges in PvP.
Yeah.
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 That
These
was
could
pretty
be good.
exciting.
Yeah.
I wonder did it say if it like cancels healing if you take damage at all? Did it mention anything like
It
that?
Doesn't
doesn't
say that.
Because I wonder if it's like the worm husk where it triggers healing, but as soon as you take damage, if it stops the healing process.
Mm.
Even the instant heal too, right at the front of it. Like you finish somebody off with a melee and you've got instant health to start the next encounter.
Well,
That's
it's
going to feel
almost-
good.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like a better version of Worm Husk in terms of what it does, right? Because you say if you do get hit when you are triggering that instant heal and then you only heal for a little bit, you still get that continuous healing. So even if you don't go fully up on that first melee kill, you're still going to get that healing going, so you can still end up winning that fight.
Yeah, if it
interesting.
heals through damage, that's going to be really good.
Yeah. Starfire Protocol, empowering Rift weapon damage hits now grant fusion grenade energy 20%.
So what they said about this was that they wanted to reward aggressive, empowering Rift play, like more offense play. I'm like, but a Rift is a static thing. I don't think you're going to see
Right.
Warlocks being like, go it in, throw it down my empowering Rift.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Rift
It's
breaker.
like they're
Rift breaker.
and like they're still just gonna sit in the back, but now with an empowering Rift and hitting things and throwing grenades.
You can't be
It's
aggressive with
definitely
a
a more
rift at all.
passive
Like
ability.
No, you can't.
as soon
It's
as you
not an
like,
aggressive
it's the
thing.
same thing as like as soon as you see one or two people, and if you happen to hit your rift button in the middle of the line of sight, you're dead.
Yeah.
I see this
Honestly-
being good for like DPS on a boss where you're all standing there,
yeah.
you're doing a bunch of damage with your rift, and then you've got more fusion grenades that you can chuck every once
Yeah.
in a while and do a little extra damage.
Yeah. Honestly, I this is why I kind of wish we could choose between two different class abilities. So then we all had one defensive ability, one aggressive ability. So maybe you could give Warlocks and Titans, the in-air dodge that they could do. They could have like Twilight Garrison and stuff like that. Or you could choose to have your shield and the Rift and stuff for more PvE or defensive things. Because then it would just I think that's another problem with PvP is that the class abilities for Titan and Warlock are such static kind of defensive abilities.
And Watts, they take a freaking year to put
They
down.
take a long time to
Like
use.
you can't go into traffic and like that's the problem with the Titan shield. Like I don't know how many times, man, I've been putting that up and you're like 1,000, 2, ugh. Okay. You're like, oh my God, you get melted by the time you put it
So
down.
I would love it if Titans could choose to have their Twilight Garrison as an offensive ability, and then Hunters could roll around on the floor. Like, I don't know, that sounds pretty fun. Maybe
That's
people would be
interesting,
more
yeah.
aggressive.
Yeah.
Problem is, like, if it's for PvE, you're not going to take Lunafaction. Let's be honest.
No.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. The ability to use the escalation protocol shotgun and not have to reload.
Oh
It's
my
so nice.
God.
It's
You're gonna
pretty
have-
crazy.
That's a lot better than a fusion grenade. Yeah, you get a lot more damage out of it.
Yeah.
Like the strikes this week, like you can just one phase bosses like
Yep.
right off the bat.
Mhm.
If everyone's rocking one of those shotties,
Must be nice.
it is crazy.
Man, it is
Oh,
nice.
well, you should get good, Pope. Do some escalation protocol.
Do your flashpoints. You might get one.
Yeah, right.
You only get them if you've reached that tier through your flashpoints.
Reach the
Oh, that's right. You
tier.
have to have already
You have
unlocked
to
a
have already
weapon.
had them. And then it goes
Yeah.
into your loot pool.
Oh, got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
You
so
have to
somebody
get
who
it.
hasn't gotten it can't just randomly get it.
I'm not going to see it. I do my flashpoints. That's the only thing I can do. I only have time to do them. So I do all my flashpoints. All the time.
They're spinning down some services for old Halo games, halo.bungie.net. If you still got some data or forum posts that you want to save, or if you've got some videos apparently up, they're going to go away.
go download them.
Sweet THWAB, man.
Yeah, and if you bought the ornament, the iron ornament bundle, then they fix that bug and it'll appear in your postmaster.
The iron
frankly,
ornament.
I thought they took it out for a different reason.
Same.
So just
I thought they took it out
is this
'cause
correct me
negative.
if I'm wrong? This is what happened, right? They decided to do another bundle because the last one was so successful. And it was a fighting lion ornament that's like a little different, not much different, but a little different, with a pack of some other stuff in there for $10, right?
Yep.
That's with this. And people weren't getting the ornament, so they yanked the package within a few hours, right?
Right.
That's how I understand it, correct?
Yeah.
It was an okay ornament. It looks like they just took some like shoe shine and shined up the fighting lion. Gave it a nice
Isn't it
little
like a wolf
polish.
head instead of a lion?
Yeah, I thought they changed like
Or am I making
Yeah,
stuff
it
up?
is.
head. Yeah,
You mean it's thematic
Does-
to
It does have the wolf
Iron
head, that's
Banner?
right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just so happy
Iron
that you
Wolf.
could actually pay money for that stuff instead of earn it in game. Because I pretty much prefer that always with all video games I play.
I don't know if you're being sarcastic right now, Tefty, but I believe
100%
you.
serious.
Yeah, that's some real sweet dick Willie bullshit right there.
That's some sweet dick holy shit if I've ever heard.
Absolutely.
Nothing more.
dropped $10
Nothing
on
gets
that.
me more excited than whipping out my wallet and paying some money for something and getting it within a few seconds than actually playing the activity.
That I wish I could work towards because I don't.
It's
I
even
know I
better
got
if
all
it's
the stuff
bugged.
now.
Even better if
don't
it's
even
bugged.
get it.
I mean, if I had bought
Even better
that
when I pay my money and I don't
didn't
get it.
I'd be like, oh my god, I cannot wait till the day it shows up in
maybe
my
I should
post,
try
so
and
I
put-
actually have it. Oh my god, this is the greatest thing ever.
I would take it as being struck down by the gods themselves, saying that you put your wallet back in your pocket.
Yeah.
Maybe I
would
should
be
try
like,
buying
never
it
again.
again.
Maybe I should get more money. Maybe I need to. Maybe I need to go
Keep
through.
buying them. See
I
if
bought
this one
3
disappears.
boxes.
I honestly, I thought
Yeah.
they got the message and they were like, okay, let's not do that stuff for faction rallies because supposedly that was in the system. But here we are, another package that was bugged
Yeah.
that they couldn't.
How
get right.
about we just? How about instead of adding different stuff to Eververse every time Iron Banner comes around, we add different stuff to Lord Salad Band?
No way.
Because the first time around, I earned all that. Can I go earn something else? Can I work? Can I turn in 500 packets and get like a special ornament? Can I do something, please?
I mean, would I want to do that or just pay $10? Personally,
And
I
not
think
get
I'm
it.
just gonna pay.
I'm okay with like buying some things like outright, like if they got
Right.
a few emotes in there, but like yeah, don't have them tied to activities that we grind out and do a lot of. You know what I mean? Like don't make them only purchasable.
no.
Like just have like a
please don't.
random ass emote. You know what I mean? Like doesn't have to be Iron
Hot dog
Banner
eating
related
contest.
or trials
I hope
related
this is
or
the
anything.
last we see of this crap once
I
September
hope it's
hits.
over. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I hope so.
I really hope that like this is the last bit of this payment model that they have constructed that was just failed. I mean, so many ways.
It's like actual oil. And it's like actual water and oil, or for a loot system. It's so dividing. Like to have things that you can only pay money to collect in a game that needs a lot more loot, end game loot. And I get it, it's cosmetics, but still, people collect those
This
things.
game is heavily based on cosmetics.
Yeah.
Making your guardian look cool and kit yourself out. That's part of the game and playing it and working towards
Yep.
it.
If people are buying it, they're going to keep doing it. That's simple. If it makes money, then it's a success.
Unless it's bugged, in which case it'll be pulled immediately, and then you will get your thing.
Well, now it
few
makes
weeks later.
twice as much money because you got to buy it twice to get it. They put RNG into microtransactions. Oh wait, they already had that with loot boxes. My bad.
Yeah.
No, there's an extra layer of RNG, whether or not it's just going to unlock for you. You might get it, you might
Exactly.
not. You know? That's like
Yeah, that's
actual
the kind of
gambling.
transaction,
Holy
yeah.
crap.
All right. Well, I'm dismayed that that they didn't address it. I thought they were going to, and I guess it's just not an issue. I guess people are buying them. I mean, never mind.
Yeah, we know Pope.
I wanna like devil's advocate this one really badly, but I don't.
You already
Not
did on the
going to.
previous one, man.
I know, man.
Yep.
I can't do it 2 weeks in a row, bro. I can't.
No, but I mean, you already
Dude,
did the devil's advocate for the first time they had that thing, and like,
Yeah.
there's no excuses for it now.
Like, I
do it, man.
totally refrained from spending any money in Destiny 2 up until Warmind because I actually really liked the way that Warmind was going and wanted to toss them a bone and hopefully maybe see that they see this guy has never spent any money. We turn around, do some really cool stuff. He throws us a bone, throws us a 20. And then that emote came out and I was like, well, damn it. Like, now I'm not planning on dropping another 20 bomb anytime soon. But like, you know, it was like right as soon as I dropped $20, they're like, okay. And I'm not gonna lie, I was tempted to buy it. That shit was dope. It looked really cool, but I just didn't want to fuel the cause. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to add fuel.
I spent a lot of money in D1, getting ghosts and all that stuff. I was like, dude, I love this game. I love the way this looks. Here we go. Let's take it. But D2, I haven't spent anything.
But I mean, even then, I mean, we complained a lot.
We said that it was
Ghost
a slippery slope for sure.
No. But Ghost was a dumb idea. Let's be honest.
Ghost makes no sense in the lore whatsoever.
Ghost,
right?
Right, I know, but I mean, the low drop rate.
Oh yeah.
You know, people spend a fortune on that Watts. That wasn't okay. You know, I think we're looking at life through like rose-colored glasses a little bit.
No, I get it, but I could play Destiny 1 and get sparrows and ships and ornaments. I could do Age of Triumph and get that cool ass armor with the chromas on it. I had things that I could play in the game to get it. And then I had dumb stuff like Ghosts that I could put money towards if I so wanted to do that, which is why I did it, because I still had Destiny 1 and all the stuff in Destiny 1 that I could work towards that I wanted.
100%.
But in Destiny 2, there's stuff in there where you can't even get some people go the whole story without getting a sparrow.
Right?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
The chocolate ghost, also the Crimson Days ghost that looked like a candy,
right.
like a
People spent a lot of money getting that stuff.
That stuff made sense to me in terms of an Eververse transaction. Would your ghost ever actually be made of chocolate while you're fighting hordes of space enemies? No, it just wouldn't. It makes sense for it to be a transaction like that. Same thing with the ghost. Would at any point, would your ghost be like, you know what would make this battle situation even better if I pretended to be a ghost? Doesn't make sense. So of course it'd be an Eververse.
I think that's the thing. In D1, they had a more clear-cut line of this is microtransactions, this is earnable in-game. Whereas now we've kind of muddied that line.
It was still a randomization of the loot box where, you know, you were putting money in hopes of getting that chocolate ghost, but you may never get it because it was a low drop rate and you could just keep tossing money at it. And, you know, maybe your budget is $100 for this to get this ghost. So you might never get it, you know?
Right, yeah, and I don't like that.
It never should have been like that. We talked about how that was such bullshit back then. I mean, what we wanted to have was a system where you could purchase in-game stuff that was not related to things that should drop in the game. And it's like that the wires got crossed, right, Tefty?
They did.
I mean, it's like, how do you
suddenly
hear
raid
that
ships
and then get to this?
and raid sparrows are in Eververse in things that you could pay for? Like that makes no sense.
No, I'm 100% on board with you. Like, I just think that we can't look at D1 and think that it was all that, because it wasn't. There was a lot of things that were shit about it. There's a lot of things in D2 that are better, but they still haven't gotten it right. And one of the things that I sadly see them making the mistake on over and over again is Eververse. This shit's starting to piss me off. Like, they need to figure out Eververse and stop doing this stuff, man. It pisses people off.
They need to sit down and put a clear line of this is what is in Eververse, this is what is never going to be in Eververse. What are people saying that they're okay with paying for? Silly emotes. Silly ghosts, chocolate ghosts, like any of silly stuff that has nothing to do with the game. Something that looks like a raid spow or a raid ghost or a raid ship or a raid shader or something that is to do with Iron Banner or Faction Rally or Crimson or whatever it might be has to be earnable in game. And if they make a clear distinction, I think they'll find they make a lot more money from those microtransactions because all of us would feel more comfortable being like, dude, you see that new crazy emote? It's so stupid. I'm going to go get it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the fireworks emote?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. That's actually a good example.
I'd pay for that.
Definitely.
Perfect. Make that purchasable.
Yep. The salty emote makes sense. Like all that stuff.
All
man.
of it.
I completely disagree with all you guys. I don't think there's any spot for Eververse in a loot-based game. I'm sorry. Anytime you have a separation of here's the loot that you can earn in this looter shooter, and here's the loot that you have to pay for with RNG loot boxes. I'm sorry. I just like it just doesn't work for me in a loot-based game.
I think we all agree though that
silly or not.
We all agree that the RNG loot boxes need to go. It needs to be directly purchasable.
Right. Yeah, I don't like loot boxes, man. Yeah. Like if I see something I want to toss, if I think it's worth $5, I want to throw $5 at it. I don't want to throw $5 at it and maybe get it. Yeah. Like the direct line would be really cool, but it needs to be a direct line to stuff that, like you're saying, is just silly. You know what I mean? A chocolate ghost, a deviled ghost, like with little taped horns on it and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I'd love to see them.
I'd love to see that.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm just gonna say, like, you nailed it, Pope. There's a disconnect between what we want and the way we want to purchase it and what we've been getting. And I hope they get Eververse right, because I don't have a problem throwing $5-10 their way every now and then to show support for the game. It's just got to be done in the right manner. And
it's like they're doing half stuff. Like, okay, they're listening to us and they say, if Eververse is going to be in the game, Briar, I agree with you. I don't want it in there, but at the certain point, whatever model they have figured out to pay for the game being made, it includes loot boxes for some reason. Now, if that's going to happen in their world, then direct purchases are much better than RNG, in my opinion. And stuff that's not linked to the lore of the game that's silly like that is better than, a Iron Banner emote and a Fighting Lion Iron Lord ornament, right? That's the kind of stuff that I don't want to see. And I'm with Tefty on that. It just seems like if you're going to do the Eververse thing, which I agree, Briar, I don't like it, right? But for whatever reason, it needs to, they've got it in there, right? So how are we going to adjust or give them advice to adjust their game? They're not going to take it out. I just think they would be more effective if they did it in a different way.
I mean, I would prefer direct purchases over loot boxes for sure. I think that loot boxes are short-lived for all video games. I think they're going to get legislated out of existence. And I think that, the writing's on the wall for that. So, I mean, even if they do get rid of loot boxes, I'm not going to hang my hat on good job Bungie for doing it, because I think they see the writing on the wall for it. And then, Activision sees the writing on the wall. EA sees the writing on the wall. You look at the E3 press conferences when they're saying no more loot boxes. Yeah, no more loot boxes because they're getting legislated out of existence, not because you got the gamer side, man.
No, it's a feature. No loot boxes. New feature, and
the fact that Bungie's on like the tail end of this, I think it's not a good look for Bungie.
Front of it, Briar, right? Remember when we talked about this and we're like, dude, Bungie needs to make a stand right now and just stand out in front of it and say, hey, this is what we're going to do. And I really hoped that that's what they were doing with September and their purchasing model. I genuinely hoped that they were putting out, and maybe it's still true. We don't know. The jury's still out. But that they were going to be putting out these new purchasing model for content, and that was going to take the place of all this crap.
We'll see. We'll see what ends up happening.
Somebody will figure out another way, right? One of these companies will figure it out. And hopefully the next way of financing, live games isn't so abrasive to the consumer. Hopefully it's not worse. Because they're going to do what they need to make their shareholders as happy as they can.
Video games,
that's what it's all about.
Video games and loot is an impulse purchase. And I feel like they would make more money if the things that we wanted to buy were directly available, because the impulse would be there to be like, well, I'm going to buy all these exotic emotes because I want to use them right now.
Yeah.
And like
Right.
the loot box system, as we all know, does not work. Pisses people off, pushes people away from the game. It's okay to earn a bright engram in game and then have a chance of
I don't
getting
know,
something.
Tefty. It does work. The loot box system does work. The problem is,
Yeah, but look at all this
predatory.
blowback. I don't think this blowback
Oh,
is like
I
works.
know, but financially it works. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Financially, it's very successful.
I
mean,
don't think it's
mobile
retaining
games
players.
making millions of dollars doing it.
Like it's okay.
I mean-
it's okay to have a quick burst, but I think in the long tail it burns players. And if they want
To
if they're
whom do
looking
you
at it from
serve,
investment-
though? Do you serve the gamers or do you serve the shareholders?
Shareholders. That's who they serve. Any corporation by law has to serve their shareholders.
Loot boxes are a huge success with the shareholders.
That's right. And so they're going to keep putting them in there unless we can find another method that makes money. They should be doing this. That's my point, is that there's got to be a better way of making money, retaining players that doesn't involve RNG loot boxes that are predatory to kids and pisses people off.
Mm-hmm.
You're here.
Yeah.
Guess we need that legislation kicking in hard.
Yeah.
Be nice.
I will say one positive thing about what they did do with Eververse is the prismatic matrix. You know, I haven't spent a single dime on D2 and microtransactions, and every week that prismatic matrix comes up, and I have almost everything, and I'm
Same.
like, oh, it's that emote that I don't have. Let me use my thing to get it.
Yeah.
So I will say that I have been able to get these Eververse things for free very, very easily. And that's great. I just don't want event-specific things
Yeah.
to be purchased.
That's
Especially when you don't add anything new to Iron Banner, right? Like
Right.
nothing was added new for me to work towards.
Or to Trials of Osiris, or to the
Right.
Raid. Or
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the prismatic matrix?
I get low key
It's kinda-
sad when I log in on Tuesday and I have everything out of it. I get sad I don't get to use my little facet. I'm like, oh, maybe next week, and then it's full again. So
I thought I was gonna really dislike it,
Mm-hmm.
but because of how much I've played, I've had the same experience where usually there's only one or two things available, and I've gotten the majority of things out of there. So I'd say it's a win for people who invest a lot of time in the game.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
there's-
it's a way of lessening the RNG of the loot box.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean,
It's still loot box stuff. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's still
I've
that.
definitely-
If you
I've
look at it
definitely
as like
gotten
you
some
never
things
buy that
from it.
stuff. What were you saying, Wilson?
I was gonna say I've definitely gotten I got like my Vigilance Wing ornament out of it one time. I think that was like week 1 or whatever. There's definitely been some little diamonds that I've pulled out of there because of my facet. Whether or not I would have got them just by doing normal engrams, because we turn in so many, you know. I mean, so many per week. I probably would have gotten it eventually, but it is kind of cool to get that stuff. But then you look at the rest of your fire team, and you're like, oh, you got it too. Like, I thought I was the only one that had the Vigilance Wing ornament. You know what I mean? But I just wish there was more stuff to get. Like, I hate to say more stuff in Eververse, but maybe more stuff that I could get with my facets. Like, that'd be cool.
Pope, you put less time in than the rest of us.
Yeah.
Like, what does that prismatic engram look like when you open it up?
I've got maybe 1 or 2 items in there, and the rest are open.
So it's still basically RNG, except it's a 1 in 8 chance rather than a 1 in 1,000 or 1 in 250.
Yeah, I mean,
chance.
they just put a different shade of lipstick on the pig. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that thing is specifically designed to quiet us down, the people, you know, who are on a Destiny podcast and put, 100 hours into or 40 hours into Destiny per week. And yeah, we're going to have most of that stuff. And the prismatic engram is going to allow us to basically just cherry pick the stuff we don't have. Whereas for most players who put, 5 hours in a week or 10 hours in a week, I think it's probably a different thing. And there's much less benefit to it.
Yeah.
But it's nicer to know there is an aspect of the prismatic matrix that I do appreciate, is that there's not repeats on the RNG, That's frustrating as all get up when you put in you earn your reward or your bright dust or your bright engram or whatever, and you go in and you turn it in, and it's something you've already gotten, right?
Yeah.
That's frustrating. And so the prismatic matrix essentially it checks it off a list, and you can't get it again. That I like for a player like myself who doesn't play a lot. I only get a few of those a week, man. Like I don't get an opportunity to get. I just yesterday got the firework exotic emote.
Nice.
And I mean, I'm sure you guys got it a long time ago, but for me, like I literally just got it. And so for me playing, if I turn in an engram and it's a repeat, it's disastrous for me. It's like, fuck, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a while before I get another one, you know?
Right.
And so I guess that's still. I don't
At
have
the
the
end of the
popcorn
day-
one. I don't have. Oh man, I don't have so many of them.
At the end of the day, it's exactly what Briar's saying, and like I don't necessarily think that they need to get rid of microtransactions for the silly stuff, because I think it's actually interesting when they bring in something that's totally stupid that I'd spend $10 on. But the core issue is that a huge part of the things that we chase after once we've hit max light is coming from Eververse, and that entire thing needs to get thrown out. It needs to get completely shut down and put in throughout the entire game, so we're not chasing after our in-game stuff, our post-max light level stuff. And the things that are in Eververse are just the silly, goofy things that are, well, you paid money for it. That's fine.
What's the business model of having a happy consumer base? So, selling the game through word of mouth as opposed to, podcasts talk about your microtransactions and how much we hate them for 45 minutes.
Exactly. Right?
Yeah.
That's
Positive.
actually why I'm saying, like, I don't think it sets a precedent in the long run for them to have a good business. I think it just it preys on kids trying to get their parents to open up their wallets and then getting angry at them.
You guys want to do Twitter questions?
Yeah, man.
I'm down.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about
yeah.
loot boxes for the next hour.
Yeah.
Oh, we
Are
could.
there any Twitter
We
questions
could.
about loot boxes?
We'll see if we can really get depressed about this.
I'll tell you about a box that you should buy.
Oh yeah.
It's a computer from On Air PC.
Ooh, tell me more.
Now, this is something pretty special. On Air PC is all about helping you get started in streaming, podcasting, or gaming. Let us help you build your dreams today at 330-850-1525. So you give these guys a call, right? You just call them up on the phone, and they say, what do you want to do? What do you want to do with the computer?
Hello?
And
On
they
Air
will
PC?
custom build
Yeah,
a computer
I want a computer.
for exactly what you want to do. If you want to start a gaming podcast, then On Air PC can help you build a computer that will allow you to do that. If you want to start streaming, maybe you already have a gaming PC, but you want a second PC to start streaming. On Air PC has the expertise to get you set up with the right equipment to get that going. Maybe you want to buy one PC that can stream and game. On Air PC, again, has the know-how to get that going. So give On Air PC a call, 330-850-1525. If you're looking to get into streaming or podcasting, they're the first phone call you should make.
And right now, if you were to purchase up until GuardianCon, if you were to purchase a computer from On Air PC, $50 of that purchase is going towards St. Jude's.
That's
You're donating
dope.
it directly to St. Jude's. They are also participating. They're heavily invested in the Destiny community. These guys are good guys. They are contributing to some of the giveaways for our charity live stream. They're going to be offering some of the rewards for that. They're also going to be live at GuardianCon in our booth building a PC that you can watch, and you can walk and come up and ask them questions. They're going to be building a PC there at our booth at GuardianCon, and that at the end of GuardianCon, those 2 days, they will raffle off that PC and somebody will be able to walk away with it.
Wow.
Walk away with a brand new PC. How cool is that?
It's gonna be good.
I have it on good authority that he's going to be building this PC with one hand tied behind his back.
Really? Wow.
No, I just made that up, but
Okay.
it'd be cool if you did it, right?
I'm sorry you did that live.
Taco Bell,
That's
Taco Bell.
GuardianCon.
Save some of those for
It's going
Pope.
to be good.
Guys, I think you need to tone down your ad reading. It's a little too profesh.
Yeah, we have a lot of complaints in the chat from you making too good of a segue into the ad read, Brian.
Yeah, I'm gonna
My
need
bad.
you to throw a wrench or two into that next time, okay?
We're gonna need to.
I'll try and
stumble
fuck it up
on that.
harder next time.
Please do.
It's a little upsetting, to be honest.
You should hear the ad read we give him on Revolver. It's way more lewd.
Yeah.
The Bag of Dicks ad read was one of the funniest things that ever happened on that show.
Man. Too good.
All right. Fortune says, can Wilson stop being so toxic? No. Rezo Hove says, this question is for Sweet Dick Willie specifically, but everyone can answer. With Guardian Con coming up, what part of the trip are you most looking forward to? Yes, Willie, there is a correct answer.
Ooh.
So he wants me to say meeting him, and I believed there was some talk of I can't believe he wants me to say this. There was some talks of butter involved when we see each other. Yeah,
Butter.
So
Buttering each other
I
up.
can't believe it's not butter, to be more specific. But yeah, there you go. I hope you're happy, Hope. I hope that's the right answer.
I want to hear more details about what's going to be used. What's this
you know
butter
what I
gonna be
immediately
used
think
on?
about? I think
Hear
about,
about
I
it.
think
You might
about that
be seeing
episode, that episode on Seinfeld when he gets completely baked and he's like, because he put butter all over himself, Kramer.
That's right.
And he comes down and Newman's like, oh my God, you're like a turkey. I can't stop thinking about it. I'm gonna eat
It
Kramer.
was so good. It was super good.
What is everybody looking forward to the most out of Guardian Con? Guardian Con is coming like right up. It's like
It's real soon. It's kind of
Yeah.
scary. Definitely for me, Guardian Con is a really special place when it comes to meeting people who have supported you for so long. You know, you can go to PAX and you'll meet people here and there. I'm like, oh, hey. But Guardian Con has always been a gathering of being able to meet all the people that have supported you and tell them in person, like, thank you so much for your support. It's been awesome getting to know you in chat, and seeing your face in person is amazing. Putting faces to Twitch names and YouTube names is just the best.
Yeah, you nailed it right on the head for me as well. Like that is by far the experience for Guardian Con for me as well. Obviously, getting to play Gambit's going to be awesome. I'm very excited about that. But like getting to put faces and hanging out with people and having IRL conversations that normally happen on stream, but like for a little bit having a Guardian Con is just awesome. So can't wait.
my favorite part of last year's Guardian Con was actually not at Guardian Con. It was at Tefty's meetup. That was like the evening after Guardian Con, right? When a little bit of beer got involved, people loosened up a little bit. There was a lot of hugging. There was a lot of fun. So I think the plan is to kind of do something similar for like all of DCP this year, and that's what I'm looking forward to the most. Is
I believe the same place
we'll do
too.
the Guardian Con stuff. I think so, right? Because that place is awesome. We'll do all the Guardian Con stuff, and that's going to be awesome. But when we just get to chill and hang out and have some beers with everybody, that's when the magic, I think, is going to happen.
That was really cool.
So definitely keep an eye out for that, because we will be posting info on that.
Yeah. Also watching Hove and Wilson get buttered up. I'm now looking forward to that.
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to our live show. So we're going to do a live show on Saturday at, I believe our time slot is 3:00 Eastern. It's one of the things I really enjoyed about last year's Guardian Con was being able to have a live audience. You know, it's great to have chat and it's great to be here talking to you guys, but to hear the audience like go ooh when you make a
Live
sick
reaction
burn or a joke.
Yeah.
A live audience really helps and changes the dynamic of the podcast, and so it's going to be fun to have that again.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Heavy Metal Mama says, no question, just wanted to say thank you to Wilson for helping this old lady out back in Destiny 1. You renewed my faith in that there are good people out there in the world. Much love and respect to Sweet Dick Willie.
Yo, that's awesome.
I just wanted to read that one out because it just goes to show.
I remember she was in, it was the first time I'd ever seen her in your chat, Briar, and she needed help with the, what was the hell the name of that quest? It was the last thing you had to do for Touch of Malice, where you had to go to that Mars mission where you had to fight that Shade of Oryx where the floor was poisoned, the jets were primed, armed.
The first mission of Taken King.
Yeah, but it was like ramped up really hard to get your touch of malice, and yeah, I remember I helped her out with that. That's cool.
Wasn't the first mission, but it was in the same area. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Hero of Time 39 says, if Cade is really dead from a bullet wound to the head, why didn't Firefly proc from Ace of Spades? It's perk of the weapon. Did the Queen's brother miss, or was that perk nerfed in Forsaken?
Yeah, it was probably Dragonfly, huh? Probably why I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Would have been too dramatic, man. My heart couldn't take that. Like, I'm already like still super sad over seeing him lay on that damn floor. Like, I wouldn't want to see him get fireflied too. That'd be too much.
I don't know. Now I kind of want to see him get Firefly.
Yeah.
Right? It's so savage, dude. Like, be too much to take, man.
Cade blood rolling off the ground in the oily mess, an oily slick.
Yeah. I feel like it would have been in chest shot. Because it didn't, like, his head wasn't blown completely off. It already had, like, gashes in it.
Yeah. By the way, I used Ace of Spades the other day, and it's pretty good.
Nice.
I can't read the name on this Twitter question.
Is it weird to know that he's dead and go to the tower and see him
100%,
there?
man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's super weird.
It's weird when Saladin's like, you're better than Cade 6 at this. I'm like, shut up, Saladin.
Oh, right? Or he's like, Cade would be proud. I'm like, why I gotta do that? Now I'm sad.
Yeah.
Saladin, shut up.
There's a photo today on Twitter. Somebody had the Prince Aldrin mask on in Destiny 1 and it was sneaking up behind Cade in the tower.
That got a movie of the week.
Yeah.
Was that movie of the week?
That one movie of the week, yeah.
Yep.
That was good. He's doing the scheming emote.
Yeah, he's doing the scheming.
He's all... I was triggered instantly.
I can't read who this is from. It didn't print out for me, but the question is, who is Wilson's favorite Rezo member and why is it KJ Hovey?
So I'm assuming that was from KJ Hovey.
Oh yeah, there it is. Yep.
Yeah, there it is. Heard of that guy. So, all right, there's a cheesy answer and a non-cheesy answer. The cheesy answer is obviously my girlfriend Sam is my favorite member in Rezo. But if I can't pick her, Hovey's right. It would have to be him. I found out about KJ Hovey back when you guys did Planet Destiny and you guys had him on. I had never heard of Team Resolute. I had never really thought about trying to improve upon PvP gameplay, and found his stream. And I remember my power was out after Christmas for like a week, and I found his stream, and it was definitely very helpful. Like I was on my phone the whole time, and found Hovey and started improving on my gameplay. And Hovey is actually one of the reasons why me and Sam are even in Resolute in the first place. Cool. So, yeah, kudos to you, Hovey.
You actually went full Hovey.
I went
his real friends. His real friends call him Kajovi. So just so you know.
Kajovi.
Didn't he found Resolute? That's the rumor I heard.
Yeah. Claw's gonna love that.
He found it. He found it really, already full of members and intact. But he definitely did find it.
Preston McGee says, what is y'all's stance on the loss streak in competitive Crucible? Some believe it's completely unnecessary or should just be a static decrease, not increasing deduction per sequential loss.
I think it makes people stay away from playing some competitive, and myself included, right? Like, I only want to go into comp if I have a fully stacked team that I know we can do well with. Whereas if this loss streak wasn't there, maybe I'm like, you know what? I'll go in and play solo, see what happens. Worst case, I lose a little bit of points, but if you end up going on that loss streak, it can really be bad. So I think it deters people from just being like, you know what? I'm just gonna hop on in and do some comp. I don't think it does anything positive.
Have you guys been doing any comp, like working toward the Redworks Claymore? I haven't even stepped in.
Just a little bit.
I did 4 games, and we were sitting there the whole time knowing exactly who we were going to match. We were watching their streams like, okay, let's try and avoid this team because that's not going to be fun. And then we're like, we know what? Let's just do it. So we go in and we get the exact team that we knew we were going to get. There is no one playing comp, especially when you get to the upper tiers of stuff. On PS4, we played against I think it was Lucky and Buttwipe's team, Pure Chill's team, and then there was another full sweat team. Like, those were the only 3 teams we were gonna play against.
So it's not like true ranked where you're going up against people with a similar rank. It's
your
it's skill-based
skill
MMR.
Yeah, it's your skill-based matchmaking MMR. It doesn't. It's not like a play 10 games, get placed, play against the same level. It's you're playing. So for example, if you go in as a solo player and your MMR is really high, you're gonna most likely go up against full teams because most of those dudes are playing in full teams. Most of them are not going in solo.
That's the experience that I've had is going in stacked. I have the sweatiest, worst time of my life. If I go in with just a normal group of people who don't care if they're going to get the Claymore or not, like I feel like we have a much more successful time. And I like anytime I go in stacked, I mean, it is a fight for my life. Like I'm fighting for my dinner is what I feel like at the end of it. Like, and it's super annoying, but I don't know. I don't know if other people have had that experience, but I feel like if you go in with like more of a chill, more casual team, you might have a better time.
I play a lot of solo PvP, and I stay away from it. I think I've played a total of 3 games of competitive because those first 3 games were pretty shitty, and I'm like, nah. So I don't play PvP to get. You get no rewards. And you're actually counting against yourself, and so there's no risk. There's no. I just don't want the risk. So I play social. I play the social playlist and
low intensity,
trials every once in a while. Low intensity.
Well, I think I would just prefer that it was an actual ranked system where it placed me against people of similar rank, because it's pretty crazy to jump in for your first comp game and you're playing against the upper echelon of players.
Yeah, right
like,
away.
I just started. Can I get a little bit of leeway here?
I haven't even gotten my SMG yet. I'm nowhere near the Claymore. Why am I sweating? Like, why am I perspirating playing this game? Yeah, right off the bat. And it is a fight for your life. And I have quite a few friends who got the Claymore, and they literally said it was them and 5 other teams the whole way to fight for the Claymore.
Is, for sure.
Yeah, it seems like comp is a bit of a ghost town, and I think the loss streak is definitely an equation for the reason for that, because if they had reversed it where your first loss is the most loss or the most reduction of your points, and then each subsequent one keeps on kind of like cutting that in half. So exponentially, if you just lose 10 games in a row, then you're going to start like creeping down your score. Yeah. But because it snowballs, I think that just immediately puts like a huge portion of the population that would maybe consider it, but now they're like, well, if I'm just going to keep on losing and lose my rank, then why even play?
Right.
So
why even risk it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Why risk going in there solo for a few games when you could get on a massive loss streak?
Exactly, and then just snowball your score completely down if you have even built up a score yet. So there's some fundamental issues with it right now. I mean, I like the fact that they put in Glory and Valor. I think that's great. There's something
for sure.
Yeah, there's something to work towards, which is nice. It's just, it's the game's PvP system right now, mixed in with low populations. Like, there's not a lot that's going to go right with that. Yeah.
Silver Moose Gaming says, how do y'all feel about the Claymore grind in competitive? I don't know how it is in console, but the PC meta is very sweaty. I guess we just talked about this, so I'm just going to skip it. Mark Johnson says, with Bungie moving to Season Pass and saying how costly campaign stories are you guys concerned that Destiny will lose any kind of story it has?
No.
Maybe worse than Destiny 1, or do you guys think it will add more to the world and exploring and finding things on your own?
Nah.
I think it's going to be so much better, honestly. I much prefer this direction that they're going in on focusing on adding endgame pursuits, more activities to the game, because the story, every time a DLC comes out, we play the story for maybe 2 hours at the absolute most. Most people are clearing it in an hour. And then what do you do with the story? All those beautiful cutscenes and that story is gone. It's not there anymore.
Skip them next time you see them, if you see them again.
You don't get to see them ever again. So at least with them putting their focus into adding endgame stuff and then hopefully adding lore into those endgame activities, adding more scannable lore that we can put in our collection and read it, I much prefer that direction.
Yep.
Give me more stuff to play and give me more loot. Give me more stuff to work towards, not just a 1 hour story.
Yeah.
Well said.
Most Unexpected says, when you're streaming, how do you listen to your game and music at the same time without getting audio delay or having the sounds repeated in the stream?
That is an
Astro Mix amp.
That's an extremely technical question that requires
It is a very technical
understanding your setup.
The
I would
first
ask you how
step
much
is
time
buy
you
a
have.
mixing board.
That's one way to do it. Yeah.
Get an Astro Mix amp.
Astro Mix
There you go.
Great.
I personally use a Steinberg UR44, and I have an HDMI splitter that splits out the audio. So any of my consoles or my PCs send out an HDMI signal that carries the audio as well, including my Discord audio. That's why I have Discord on my gaming PC. It goes into a switch that also extracts the audio. That audio goes into my UR44 Steinberg that I can then digitally mix in my computer, so I can adjust my own levels for that and then hear it without it being duplicated in stream. And then the HDMI signal goes into OBS via my capture card, and that's what stream hears.
I have a similar
you
but
go.
different way of doing it. I have a HDMI splitter. I think the HDMI splitter is going to be pretty common.
Yeah.
And one side of that HDMI splitter goes to the monitor, but the other side goes to a box that breaks the sound off of the HDMI digital signal and converts it into an audio signal or to an analog audio signal. And that thing is like $20 on Amazon. It's super cheap. And then you can basically do whatever you want with that analog signal.
That's
Once it's
actually
analog, you
exactly
can
what I'm doing as
do
well.
whatever you want.
I'm actually exactly doing that. Yep.
There you go.
I use a mix amp, and any problems, I tweet at the Briar Rabbit. He loves answering tech questions on Twitter.
Most Unexpected said, when you're streaming, I just asked, sorry. Hawkeye says, did anyone at the summit talk about Titan shoulder pads and how they are too big? How does the DCP crew feel about Titan shoulder pads? I can't say shoulder for some reason.
Yes. I think Titans need more options in their armor, you know? Have a few slim sets, have a few bulky sets. Just more options would be good. Because at the moment it's like, do you want your shoulders bigger or big or biggest? What kind of
Or
shoulders would
baskets.
you like?
Do you
Or
want
baskets,
two
or a
mini
pumpkin.
buses on your shoulders, or do you want two VW bugs? What size of a vehicle do you want sitting on your shoulders?
I want
I
more
like the,
options in like
the
the
raid
belly
layer
region.
armor. Real.
Yeah. Yeah, like, and you get the options in
Pumpkin.
the belly too, like the great pumpkin that
Yeah,
Tefty
pumpkin.
has.
Yeah. Do you want a dad bod? Do you want a...
Yeah.
See, I got
Bigger
What they're
I've
trying
got
for,
classic
or what it
pumpkin.
seems like they're trying
I've
for.
got Spice Pumpkin. I've got Dad Bod Pumpkin. I've got Warrior
Sounds like
Pumpkin.
the Spice Girls in Halloween.
It's great.
Yeah, it's a warrior pumpkin.
The goal they're going for, I think they're going for, is to have very distinct silhouettes for each type
Right.
of guardian, so you
Yeah.
can immediately identify
Yes.
what you're up against
Well,
at a
that's what
distance.
class items do. Like, just like, you know, the new class item for Warlocks and Forsaken, it's like a giant bird. We need more of that for Warlocks, where it's not just like a little band on your arm. Like, have it be really noticeable and have Titan marks be really noticeable. Like that I think that should be the identifiable thing. That's a unique thing of the class, the way they look, right?
I really got to say though that the Warmind, I feel like the destination armor looks pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's pretty
the-
good, yeah.
I like
It's
some of the
uni- it looks
changes.
different,
It's
too.
unique.
The
Yeah.
Braytech stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
I like it.
I feel like I'm collecting more of the armor sets from Warmind and keeping them
Yeah.
than I did from other sets.
I'm trying to keep them all. It's just, that vault space.
I know.
It's
Mhm.
tough.
Yep.
Ballistic Fire says, do you guys feel like random rolls will really matter? The perks in Destiny 1 made random rolls exciting to get. Perks in Destiny 2 don't really do it for me. They aren't as exciting. Thoughts?
Yeah,
I'm hoping they add more perks
Yeah.
exactly.
with Forsaken.
Like
Mhm.
they that's what I thought about as well. It's like, well, the sandbox in general,
Yeah.
it's kind of boiled down when it comes to D2. So I'm hoping that they add a lot of interesting things for synergizing, and hopefully a couple of them kind of break the game a little bit. So we can have that moment where, oh my God, you got to have this weapon to go and break everything.
Oh
in the
my god, I
strikes.
got a one-shot head cannon.
Yeah, exactly.
Woo!
Yeah, like that stuff is fun and exciting when we get to play this game. So I'm hoping it goes down that path.
You get the bow that one shots instead of two shots.
Yeah, Luck in the Chamber, Rangefinder, what was it? Surplus and Performance
Icarus?
Bonus, Icarus. There was so
Dude, how many times did
fun
Icarus
perks.
get brought up at the summit? Like
By me or everyone?
But like you at least 50 times, but me
That's
at least
that's pretty
25.
bad.
No, I think that it's just one of those things where we really hammered home the need for increased inner accuracy.
Yeah.
And the response that they gave us was that they had done that in early play tests of Bungie. Was it John Wisniewski that said that? Wasn't it?
I think it was.
If I remember
or it might have been
correctly.
Hamrick. I'm not
Well,
sure. One
So
of them.
they said in the early play tests of Bungie, the Destiny, they had it where you could be accurate in air, and it turned out that it was just people jumping everywhere, shooting. That it was.
Didn't they say that on the podcast?
Yeah, they said that on the podcast with us. They said the reason why they
Yep,
didn't
thank you.
want that is because that would ultimately be the meta. Everybody jumping and shooting.
Thank you. That's where I remember from.
Which is why we just want more. We want more choices. For example, like my palindrome, the one that I use has Luck in a Chamber and Icarus. Not everyone has that. That's not everyone's god roll by a mile. Most people actually don't want that. They want Rangefinder and Luck in the Chamber. But
Wait,
I wanted
what kind
Icarus.
is that? Can I find it in D2? No.
No, fam.
That's a
Nothing
no
even
dog.
close.
That's a no dog.
Gonna be a no for me, dog.
Derp Chief Andy says, do you still feel motivated to chase loot in Destiny 2 after the info dump we just got for the Forsaken? Or do you feel like now there's no point and you might as well play something else until September?
Okay. I've been getting a lot of this question coming in chat about is now a good time to jump into D2? And I think there's two schools of camp, or two thoughts.
Two schools of thought.
Two schools of
Two schools of thought.
Two schools of bars drinking right now. Is that you got people who want to be prepared for Forsaken to jump in and hit it hard and be close to first on a lot of stuff. If you're in that camp, then you should absolutely play D2 right now and collect this stuff because the Icarus shotgun is absolutely going to be awesome.
Yeah, you're going to need that.
It's going to be great.
It's gonna
Come
always be
Forsaken,
good.
right? You're going to want
need
that
that.
stuff. There's probably going to be some things that get changed that you might want to have. I'm sure my beloved Midnight Coup is still going to be useful in Forsaken. I'm absolutely going to use it. So if you're in that camp, then yeah, you should collect the stuff and make sure you're ready for it. So you're ready for Forsaken. If you're in the camp of you just want to experience for Forsaken or how the changes are and you don't care about being first to a lot of stuff, then you know what? Yeah, you might as well take breaks or not play it for a while and play some other games, get caught up in your catalog, and then jump into Forsaken when it drops.
Yep.
I agree with this response.
Those are good responses, Tufty.
You're supposed to tip
Doughboy
your fedora,
says,
Tefty.
What was it?
You're supposed to tip your fedora there.
Yeah, you
Pope Bear complimented you. You're supposed to.
You're right.
Doughboy says, do you think there will be a collector's edition? I really want a real life prop of the Ace of Spades.
Woo!
Ooh.
I
would
hope
get
so, because there was with the Taken King, and this is
There was.
another big size.
Yep.
I want a bow prop. That's what I want.
What came in the Taken King? You got the book, right? The
Strange coin.
The Cade 6 and a strange coin. Was that it?
You got, was that Cade 6's journal?
Yeah.
Oh, the
Strange
journal.
coin.
I want to bring it out now. We got to bring the Cade 6 journal
That's
out.
the main
from Taken
thing.
King.
It's the journal and the
I
strange
found
coin.
myself doing his little maps just because I get to go talk to him.
The best one was still Vanilla Destiny 1, right? With the ghost. That's still the best one, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
Got it all sitting back
There wasn't
there.
one for Rise of Iron, was there?
I got it sitting right here, man. I love this
Yeah,
thing.
so do I. Mine's like,
back.
You still
mine's
have it
back
plugged
there.
up? Does it turn on for you?
Yeah, mine
it's
still
not
turns on
plugged
and
in right
talks.
now. I can see.
It's got Dinklebot.
I
This
love it. I
place.
love that
It
it's,
does have
it's still
Dinklebot.
OG Dinklebot,
Yeah.
right?
It
And
is.
it's like, it's got some of the classic lines, man. It's great.
One
Love
of the
this thing.
guys, I think it was K-Dub from Guardian Radio, bought two, and then he made like a Christmas ornament out of one of them, and he hangs
Really?
it in the tree.
That's cool.
And like every now and then, you'll walk by and bump it, and it'll be like, "This place is
It's
amazing."
amazing. This place is amazing.
Yeah, those are really cool to have.
Fascinating. This place is littered with pre-Golden Age artifacts.
Doesn't actually sound like
Wouldn't want
Dinklebot.
cool stuff like that. What if they
It-
give us
it is-
Cade's
it is.
ghosts?
Yeah, it's neat because it's got proximity, so every time you walk by, it just whoosh.
Yeah, I hope they have a collector's edition for this one.
I hope so.
do
Yeah.
like getting the collector's edition.
My collection demands it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Davis says, after Mike, okay, I don't know how to say this guy's last name. It's Ybarras. Mike Ibarras, I'm going to go with.
Virus, yeah.
Tweet last week about crossplay. If by some miracle Sony allowed for it to do, you think it would even be possible for a game like Destiny? How long to implement? All right, so this is did you guys see that tweet? I retweeted it, and all I said was vote because basically,
I voted.
Do you know his official position at Microsoft?
Community guy, right? I thought he was head of Xbox Live.
Okay, so it was interesting to see him talking about it. In that tweet, he referenced Destiny specifically, and he basically put up a Twitter poll, would you like to see Destiny be a cross-play or cross-save kind of thing? And
it would be
people were voting.
Good God, that'd be amazing.
It would be amazing. I would be so happy. I cannot express how sad I get every time someone in chat is like, I'm on Xbox. And I'm just like, I want to play with you. I want to play so bad, but Destiny is that kind of game where it is so soul destroying to think of going through that story again and getting all those items and all the armor and getting my build the way I want. And it would be amazing.
Yep.
The Sony is actually in hot water right now, right? Is because of what happened was Fortnite came out on the Switch, and people who wanted to go play on the Switch but had started playing on PlayStation 4 realized that account is locked to the PlayStation 4. You can't, so anything microtransactions or anything like that you bought on that account, you cannot transfer over to PC or to your Switch. And so that right now, Sony is under a lot of hot water for this. People are really upset about this policy. So I think it pays for the Destiny community to kind of join in on this and be like, hey, we'd like to do this too. Why at least can't we get cross save, if not cross play?
Mm-hmm.
Cross save, at least we could, I could do all my work on, the console of choice, and then, I got some friends who want to play on Xbox. Well, I could just migrate my characters over to the Xbox and hang out with them for the afternoon, then move over to the PlayStation the next day, and then it's not thousands of hours of building characters up on each individual platform.
Exactly.
And I don't know if you guys saw it, you probably did, the tweets between Switch and Xbox earlier about let's play Minecraft together. It seems like everyone else is going in the direction of cross-play, cross-save, some kind of something. And Sony's like, no. So I'm really hoping that all of this kind of puts pressure on Sony to do something where we just want to play together.
Mm-hmm.
We just want to play with more people.
Guy.
Yeah, Watts, it sounds cool and all, but if Xbox of 5 years ago?
I don't care about Xbox 5 years ago. Phil Spencer addressed this exact complaint specifically when he was on the Giant Bomb podcast, at E3. He's like, look, I'm not the one who was making decisions 5 years ago. I'm the one who's making decisions right now. And what I'm saying, and as a representative for Xbox and Microsoft, I'm saying I want to do crossplay.
Yeah,
great.
Sure.
So let's take advantage.
Do crossplay because they're at the bottom
wants
of
to do it. Nintendo wants to do
Sony's at the top of the fucking food chain right now. They don't have to
But
listen
who
to any of this
wins,
crap.
though? The community and gamers win
Yeah,
if
I
they do
completely
it.
agree. I completely agree. But they're not going to do it. Money talks. Right now, Sony has no incentive to do it.
True.
And I would buy an Xbox
Sony
version
incentive.
of Destiny if
all of
it
us
had
switch to
crossplay and
Xbox
cross-save.
and leave Sony to make a point, yes, you're right. They will listen then. But right now, Sony is the big dog. They don't give a crap what Nintendo and Xbox are doing.
Let me ask you this, Pope. If you're thinking about dipping your toe into Fortnite, what are you not going to play it on right now? I'll tell you, I'm not playing it on PlayStation because I know that if I decide I want to play a little bit on the Switch, maybe I want to play a little bit on PC, none of that progress carries over just because I dipped my toe in on the PlayStation. Fuck that. That's going to hit them in the pocketbook if that's the message that gets out there.
See, Pope's
That's
right. They're top dog right now, and that is the issue.
Right.
But it's a different landscape. I mean, PC is a huge competitor at this point for people interested in gaming. And it wasn't really like that, say, 10 years ago in the landscape. PC was still kind of getting its bearings and was like more. I wouldn't say niche, but it was still kind of in that echelon. PC is huge now. I mean, a ton of the games that are streamed right now are basically PC, and Sony's doing this big dog thing right now. It's only going to come back and bite them in the future. Like 5 years from now, like they might get left behind when everybody else is doing crossplay.
This is the kind of behavior that they were pulling off during the PS2 era, and that's why people said, the PS3, maybe not so much. You know?
I would just be so excited what this would do for Destiny 2 PvP. It would give us more people to play against.
Yep.
So maybe when I jump into comp, instead of playing the same 4 teams, now maybe I'm playing 8 teams.
So
Better than 4.
I would love cross save. I don't necessarily care about cross play so much as cross save. I think cross save is really where it's at. Like for me, it also makes more sense for companies. Sony's got to make their money. Xbox has got to make their money. Everybody's got to make their money. And right now, the best way to go about having them do that is to make sure that games are sold and stuff is bought, right? And so if I can save my account to something that's universal and go transfer over and my progress and all that is played on another console, they're selling more games. The publisher needs to see the incentive to not make these deals with Sony.
Here's the incentive right now, Pope, is if I've got the opportunity, I could either buy Fortnite on Xbox or on PS4, and I know that if I buy it on PS4, it's locked to my PS4. I can never move that account to anything else. Or on Xbox, I could not only move that account to a Switch, but I could also play against my friends on Switch or I could play with my friends on PC. Like I have all that functionality if I buy it over on Xbox. Plus, they take a cut of all those microtransactions that I buy over there. That's that's big money. That's real big money. Fortnite's the biggest game in the world right now. Like by a long shot.
They're not going to respond to that. They're not going to respond to that until it hurts them monetarily. And that's not going to be an immediate reaction. We're not going to see that change until they start losing market share. Xbox didn't start to feel, the need to work with Nintendo until they started losing their market share. I think Xbox is a better company right now than Sony, and always has been from my position on the back end. I love the community, spent 10 years there, loved the social features of it, loved what they were doing with Xbox One. I wish I could have gone there, but the only way that Sony loses their market share is if developers don't make these deals with them. The customer is allowed to have that flexibility and the competition. Imagine if there was competition, real competition amongst the consoles, how much better that would be for the gaming community and for gamers as a whole, right? So I love the idea of cross save. Give it to me.
Do you remember E3? Was it 2013 when the Xbox and the PlayStation were first getting announced? And Xbox came out and said, "Well, you're gonna have to, have online connectivity to play any games on the Xbox. It's gonna be $500. It comes with Kinect." And Sony came out and said, "Here's how you share games with your friends." Mm-hmm. What the fuck happened to that Sony? The Sony who remembers getting their ass whooped in the PlayStation 3 era. Mm-hmm. That's the Sony that they're gonna get a reminder of that if they keep making decisions like this, because people are gonna remember how Sony acted when they were in the top dog spot when it's time to buy the Xbox 2 or the PS5, right?
That's exactly right. That's what I think is going to happen. I think the repercussion from that stuff isn't going to happen for several years, but there will be a repercussion from those policies. And it's, like I said, it's a different landscape. Like these consoles are more and more PC-like every day, and there's already cross-play happening with these restrictions, and Microsoft wants to move heavily on cross-play with all these other things that they'll actually want to do it. So it's going to
affect them. The fact that Nintendo is on that side and Sony isn't is shocking.
Yeah.
It is pretty shocking.
It is shocking.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I there's a lot of things that Microsoft is doing right now that are setting themselves up for future success. And if Sony doesn't recognize that, then they're not all that smart. I mean, the fact that you can do a Microsoft console Xbox game and then also play with your friends on PC and all that connection that's happening there, that's
It's
simple,
awesome.
bro. That's like
It's so good.
that
Microsoft is
right
knocking it out of
there.
the park. Game Pass is an amazing service.
Dude, and it's not that expensive.
It's not that expensive, and you basically get access to all the
It's
Xbox
awesome,
games.
man.
Does it work
Yeah.
on both PC and Xbox also?
It works on PC
It works
Not all
everywhere.
PC games,
Xbox.
but a lot
Right.
of, but some.
Yeah.
That's how I play Sea of Thieves with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
the whole
mean,
play anywhere
There's a
thing.
ton of games on that, and they're just going to keep adding games to that because they really want that to be one of the selling points of being in the Microsoft ecosystem. Is that you don't have to worry about a $60 purchase. You pay us, $10 a month, and all the new games you just get.
It's a little more than
Exactly.
that, though, right? It's like $14.
I don't know how much it is.
I think it's like $14, but
Is it really?
I can't remember exactly.
I didn't think it was that expensive.
But
That's also their angle too. Is like they want you to be playing on a Microsoft platform. It seems like they could care less if it's on an Xbox or a PC.
Yeah.
Right.
If you're playing on a PC or an Xbox, you're playing on a Microsoft platform.
look, Tefty, I don't even have a Xbox. Like I had two of them. I bought the Xbox ones. They ended up being doorstops, so I ended up just selling them. But I have the Game Pass, so I can play on my PC. They're selling me an Xbox Game Pass without a console, so I can play on my PC
It's
with you
$10,
guys and
$10 a
friends.
month, yeah.
$10. Is it $10? I'm sorry, I thought it was more than that.
Yeah.
And also, if you guys watched E3 with Xbox, they've got some good studios under their belt.
Yeah.
Coming out of that, they
They're-
have Ninja Theory, who made Hellblade.
Yeah.
They're amazing developers. They have a lot of good things coming to Xbox.
Yep.
They're opening a new studio in Santa Monica, right next to Sony Santa Monica.
Getting cozy.
Moving on.
What do we got
Hey,
over
guys.
here? Look at
Yeah.
this.
Now, I'd love to see competition. I love
Yeah.
competition. I don't like that Sony has the power to make exclusive a whole game. I don't, and I know Xbox did it, and it doesn't make it right. I just think it messes with our communities in a huge way. I mean, huge. Like that pisses me off more than anything else that happens in the gaming community.
It doesn't bother me that Sony makes like a game. They develop a game in house that
Sure.
like God of War, and they release it on their console. That's all good. But
Good.
when they restrict your Fortnite account because you started it on a PS4, that's some real bullshit.
Super lame.
Or they restrict content in a game and access to a Hawk Moon and all this shit for a year. You remember, like at the worst, Microsoft was giving COD releases a month, right? It was
A
30
month,
days.
yeah.
Yeah,
Now we're looking at a year. Like
or
that's kind of
2 years.
that's just idiotic, man.
It's crazy.
Right, the stuff that came out with the Taken King didn't come to Xbox until Destiny 2 came out.
Too. Yep.
yeah.
That's 2 years, man.
Yeah, that's really lame.
Well, we're going to be able
crazy.
to ask. We're going to be able to talk to Josh Stein. He's a community manager, head of Mixer. Next week, I know that's a Microsoft product. They're separate from Microsoft, but I'm going to be really interested in talking to him next week. He's going to be on the show next Thursday. We're going to get a chance to like lock down. Ask him. Mixer's making some moves, right?
Yeah, they are.
They're pulling people over from Twitch, and these top dogs like Twitch and Sony right now I gotta be watching, and they gotta be hearing the rumblings. It's gonna be interesting to see what the moves are.
Facebook and Mixer are really going after Twitch.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
really
they
are.
Really
They had a
hard.
big booth at E3, Mixer. They had a
Did they?
huge presence at E3. Yeah. It's pretty big.
And now Instagram actually has a new video service.
They do. Yeah.
I know, man.
Coming for YouTube. I hope
Yeah.
it works.
Yeah, they do.
'cause-
Well, vertical
Me too. YouTube needs fucking competition.
vertical video.
Well, it's vertical video, but it works better for watching it on your phone, and
Sure.
Instagram is a phone thing. So
It's really hard to do
It's
this, right?
interesting.
I mean, I almost broke my wrist there. Did you see that when that happened?
I think it's actually
watch
kinda
it again.
neat,
Watch
Pope,
it again. Watch it again. But
Because
this time I'll
now
do it
you have
slowly.
to actually take vertical video into account when you're shooting a video. I think that's kind of neat. So if I want to
think
post a
it's kinda
video onto YouTube and I'm doing let's say I'm doing the same, this week I did a review on the NVIDIA Shield on my YouTube channel. I'd have to shoot that completely differently for Instagram, and I think that's kind of a neat thing. You really get to format it differently. They might add horizontal video.
I just think it limits the mediums. Like if I'm a content creator and I'm filming like this, right? And I'm filming, that's a normal setup for filming right now. Mm-hmm. I can upload my content to YouTube and stuff like that. I think just the decision. YouTube. Well, Vimeo. What is it? Vimeo, and there's others.
No,
Vimeo.
All right. Well, anyway, I just think that this might have been a mistake by them. I understand what they're going after to differentiate themselves, but I don't know, a 10-minute video like this, it just feels like you're like Tefty keeps talking about the field of view for PCs.
True.
It's gonna feel that way when you're watching a video that like is like this. You're just gonna be like your horse blinders are on.
Yeah, they can always add horizontal too.
Yeah, that should be easy for them to add.
Sounds like they're putting their money into the vertical though, but whatever.
All right. I Will says, this is for Sweet Dick Willie, since you are a conspiracy theory expert. Expert, he says.
Oh, man.
What are the odds that in this upcoming DLC, Savathun is behind Prince Uldren's moves? P.S. Carry me in trial soon.
You got it, Will. Absolutely. Second, I do love me a good conspiracy. But I don't know. I think you need to be asking yourself, like, more importantly, like, did Uldren act alone? Was he the gunman on the grassy knoll? Did the Hive even go to the moon to begin with? Those are the conspiracies you need to ask yourself. I don't think
Was there really a wizard on the moon?
Questions here.
Yeah. Did the Hive really go to the moon, or was it just a big cover up? Was it all CGI? No, I don't think Savathun had anything to do with it. We're gonna see something with Savathun at some point in time, right? I mean, we have to. I just don't know if it's gonna be in this DLC.
So what you're saying is that there's a possibility that the speaker hired Gaul to attack the city.
100%. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did he
Bold
fake
claims.
his death? He probably
Did he fake his death?
We didn't even see him die. His mask
Did
just
he
fell
even
off.
die? Yeah, come on.
His mask just fell
I
off.
mean, fell
Are
down.
you
I'm
saying
dead.
that the speaker, like, let's just entertain this for a second. So the speaker being tied up with Gaul in the spaceship, that was kind of some just sort of S&M
That
thing.
was some fanfare right there.
That's just maybe some, like, they're into that.
Yep.
Yeah.
What happens
They're putting
behind
on a
closed
show.
doors is stays behind closed doors.
Put on a show.
This is
that
why
what
I don't
that is?
read fanfic, man. This is crazy.
I mean, was there leather involved? I mean, I mean, the speaker was tied up, beaten up. If you believe the video that's happening there, he's not doing it for fun. You know, it's no conspiracy here.
No, I didn't hear a safe word anywhere during
Avocado.
any of that. Yeah.
He
Is there
said
any
pineapple
sort
like
of-
3
sort of
times.
Oklahoma or anything that was a clear indicator of a safe
Oklahoma.
word. Yes.
So now we know Wilson's safe word.
I'm just saying, it's really hard to confuse Oklahoma with anything else.
No, that's
okay?
good. It's good. If you're
Alright.
if you're on Revolver and I'm watching, anytime you say Oklahoma, I'll know what's up.
Yeah, there you
This
go.
is right before the podcast, before we go live. Oklahoma.
Oh my god.
Alan says, wondering your guys' input on a lot of people crying for the Graviton Lance nerf. Personally, I think it should be left alone. It's an exotic. It should feel it.
I don't care about it getting nerfed. I just want other guns to be as powerful. I want to be able to run in there with a close range weapon and take them down quickly. The 4 people sitting at the back of the map with their Graviton. You know, I want to have close range stuff that's equally as good. I want to have legendaries that are equally as good. I know, of course, it shoots the little seeker balls when you kill someone. I think that's a really good exotic part of the gun. Those do a crap ton of damage, but we can still have like legendaries that are equally as strong. So I think we just need to bring things up because right now it's literally just Graviton and Vigilance. It's the only thing you see.
How about we
boring.
don't nerf Graviton Lance and make 3-shot hand cannons?
Yes.
Yes.
3 tap hand cannons.
Yes. Are you saying that we
Please.
we change the time to kill? Briar, this is kind of revolutionary right now.
Let's not throw around big words like time and kill. All I'm saying is 3-tap hand cannons.
Yeah, that sounds like you're asking for something that's you
Sounds
die
like
faster.
a revolution.
Use it.
Sounds like a revolution.
Let's not.
Sounds like free thinking. I can't be any
I'm
part.
gonna have to turn you into the authorities, sir.
Yeah, I got to be honest.
I would say.
Sorry. Well, no, Wilson, go for it.
I was just gonna say buff it, make the explosion bigger so
Yes.
people don't group up as much. I can handle 1 graviton, but 4, like I can't even blink. So screw it, buff it, make it just a giant nuke when you kill somebody with it, so people don't group up anymore.
Dig it.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to play Fallout 76, man.
Is that
so
all it
much
takes?
fun
Is
in
the
that
word
game,
nuke?
bro.
All it
Nuke,
takes,
yeah.
man. Nuke. Oh my god. A sandbox
God.
in the Fallout world.
I
So,
just can't wait to
Nuke my
roleplay.
friends.
so I played Iron Banner for about 8 hours this week so far.
Yeah.
And I used Graviton Lance like maybe 1 or 2 matches. I died to it definitely a few times. Same thing with Vigilance Wing. And I am playing on PC, so that does change things a bit.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, like, I'm using New City and that Finite Impactor. The
Yes, you are.
yeah, New
It's a
City.
great effect, man. You're freaking killing it.
I have my moments. I will say that. There's a few times, but then I bust out the
I saw
boot
you, like,
cannon. And the
20
boot
and
cannon
0,
is
man.
disgusting, right? Well, what I
Boot
gotta
cannon's
say is that,
wonderful.
like,
It's a lot of fun.
I don't feel like I'm at a severe disadvantage against Vigilance and Graviton Lance. I'll say that if I slide around a corner and there's 2 people looking at me with a Graviton Lance, I'm gonna die.
You did.
But I feel like that's the case with this game's meta right now, regardless. So if I engage that way, if I engage a lane that's heavy on Graviton and Vigilance, I'm gonna die from it. But if I plan my attacks around the corner of somebody, trying to flank me or something like that, then I feel like you can still be really successful with other weapons in the game. It's just,
True.
I 100% agree. It bring everything else up. You do not need to nerf Graviton Lance. Definitely not.
And let me tell you, on console, it's all Gravitons and all Wormhusk Arc Blade.
That's
Sorry,
not true.
staff
I play on
hunters.
console and I'm using a Vigilance Wing.
It's
So there.
Way to
oh
break
my
the
gosh.
bank.
It's like you sit there, you're like, okay, gonna go kill these guys over here. There's a bunch of them sitting there with their Gravitons. You get them down, and then they dodge, and they come back strong as a
They hit
pack,
that health potion.
fully healthed up.
Watts,
It's-
we were playing. What was that? What was that board we were playing in? The Burning Shrine? No, it was the old tower board last night.
Oh, Bannerfall? Yeah.
Bannerfall,
Oh god.
and there was 2
no.
warlocks that kept running to the outside tree, the broken tree, and putting down their rifts and just sitting there and graviton shooting the center. It was more of just a sad state of where people how people
It was
play.
just depressing.
It was there was workarounds. Once we were like annoyed by it, Watts is like, all right, that's enough. And then she's like, we're taking over the tree. I mean, we could, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
It's just sad that is the playstyle. That is the
For
go-to
them,
Destiny
though,
2
they're not having
playstyle.
fun. Maybe they're having
They're
fun doing
having
that.
fun,
They're having fun doing that, and you're having fun flying around the map, killing them.
but it's boring.
For them.
And when you play comp, especially, you cannot push a comp team. You cannot push a good team. I'll be straight up about it. You can't push a good team in Destiny 2 and be aggressive against them. They will take you down so quickly with their Gravitons or their Vigilance Wings. I just want the ability, and like I said, I don't want it to be nerfed at all. I just want the ability to make my playstyle also as strong as sitting in the back with my Wormhusk whenever I get low and Rifts whenever I'm just laning something. Like, let me run in there, 3-tap someone real quick with a hand cannon and get out. Instead of going in there and be like, oh, he's almost dead, I'm dead.
Yep. He's about to. Oh, he hit the Wormhusk. Yeah. He's got a health back. Never mind. Don't go after him.
Oh, I have to kill him twice.
Oh, look
I
at
have
you
to kill the whole
preaching
team
over there,
twice.
Tefty, you grenade-eating bastard.
I see you
No,
munching.
I was actually running the VA Hunter build the whole time. Yeah, I'm gonna abuse that health potion all I want, man.
Yeah, I've been enjoying it myself.
Same.
There
I
is really-
abuse Invis. I'm not worried about abusing a little health potion.
Yeah.
Nick Bailey says, with what we know about Year 2 loot being exclusive to random rolls, will the Year 2 loot table be flooded with Year 1 loot? This makes the RNG grind to be even worse because the chance of getting a gun to drop that doesn't even have random rolls.
Ooh, good point. That's going to be the new, like, crap, I keep getting,
Better devils.
better devils.
Yeah.
Jinx. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, Dado had a good video about this. I can't remember if it came out today or yesterday,
I think
but
it's today.
it was a pretty interesting video about the problem with keeping the year one loot relevant is that a lot of that stuff is going to be the stuff that you keep using. Like the Midnight Coup is still going to be damn good because it's got Rampage and Outlaw. The Ikelos is still going to be damn good because it's just damn good, right? It's
Damn good.
So the loot that comes out in year two, because in Destiny 1 with the Taken King, they just left that stuff behind and you were forced to basically start over again with like blues, greens, blues, and then new legendaries. We're not getting that in this.
Are we
there's
gonna
going to be a
want
big
them?
light level bump. I don't know, man. Like, I really like the Midnight Coup. How do you make a better hand cannon than the Midnight Coup? It's got the fastest time to kill of any hand cannon right now. It's got really good perks on it. Like, what gun do you make for me in Destiny in Forsaken that's going to take the Midnight Coup out of my?
It's a
I did
sandbox
hear-
issue. Like, just straight up, it's a
Yeah.
sandbox issue. If you have
It is a
interesting
sandbox
perks,
issue.
then you'll have interesting options. Like the thing that's happening
That's
right now
true.
that hasn't happened for the majority of D2 is you have problems choosing which exotic you want to use because there's a lot of really good exotics right now. That hasn't really been the case, and it's been a very bland sandbox up until now, and they need to double down on that when it comes to legendaries. So you have a crap ton of choices to where, yes, Midnight Coup is phenomenal, but sometimes you want the Dragonfly mixed in with, like, maybe there's a Rampage Dragonfly combo in a hand cannon that has some sort of flavor to it that's really good. Like, they can expand on this stuff and introduce really cool new perks and make a fascinating sandbox if they do it correctly. If they keep it the same as it is now, then yeah, it's going to run into those problems.
I just want to get a hand cannon with Dragonfly and Outlaw this time around for kind of make like the Fatebringer build. I really wish year one weapons were getting random rolls. I kind of understand probably why they haven't done it. Like, obviously the raid weapons, I want those to be set perks or whatever. But one of the things that I was going to be the most excited about was going back and finding better devils with a better roll.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
There's going to be another. There's going to be a
Archetype.
better devils.
Yeah,
I mean, here's my thing with this is that I understand game design wise, there's no such thing as a random roll. There is a built gun of every combination in the database. That's how the game is made. We were talking to the guys at the sandbox guys and design guys at Bungie. It may appear that there is a randomness to it, like a slot machine, and each of the perks. You don't get the gun and it goes ding. Even if they did that, for example, in the database there is a version of that gun created.
So if there's 1,500 possible combinations of the better devils, then there's literally 1,500 combinations that are built in the database.
There has to be. And that's one of the reasons why the tower is so difficult to make, because literally when you are loading into the tower, it has to load up every variation of every piece of armor you have, every gun, everything that you own in your everything has to be loaded into the instance so it's available to you if you choose to put it on. That's why the tower is such a pain in the ass to make and why there's a limit to how many people can be in there. Design-wise, the game has to render all that crap for you and everybody else who's in there so that when they look at you, they see what you're wearing instead of just nothing, right? So that's the way the game works on the back end. So from a design piece-wise, if they're going to spend time building new guns and new stuff and new randomizations and perks, I'd rather have them spend the time on that and getting new stuff than to rework these old ones, if that's the way that game has to be made, you know? Maybe that knowledge will change people's perspectives on that.
Go Faster Than You says, is water wet?
No.
Only if you're Chuck Norris, it's not.
It makes things wet. It's not wet.
That's correct.
Yeah. It applies wetness, but it is not the wetness.
Well, if you're water, you're wet.
Nope.
No, you make things wet.
I would be a
What are
body
you
of
then?
water.
Your water.
That is wet.
No.
No. Because when something is
You are
wet, it's had
defined by
water
what you
applied to it.
do.
You can't apply water
Yes.
to water. You're just water.
That's what I was just gonna say. Yeah, that's
You
actually
can't
a
make
good
water
point.
wet.
Well, when you're describing something, you're describing the instances, the characteristics of that thing, right? Tefty, for example, if I was talking about Wilson, I would say Wilson is toxic, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is
Nice
toxic?
one, by the way.
Right. Thank you. So if is Wilson toxic or is toxic Wilson? You know, that's the real question here.
Oh, now you're getting
I mean-
philosophical.
Right. If he is toxic, doesn't he then embody that element in himself and then therefore is defined by it? Water's wet.
Wow.
No.
I'm going to go with I don't agree.
I don't know.
It sounded good.
You made a
Pope. I
strong
like it.
argument.
You
I was just
did.
going for it, man.
Strong
Yeah,
argument.
We used to, hey, Briar, we used to do that. Like, let me tell you, it's a little story, a little aside, I'm sorry. But when I was in high school and in college, we did debate. I did debate. And one of the things that you did is you had like those little timers, you know, those little bell timers that we had for the ding? Yeah, that. So we used to practice our positions by, you know, you do all this research for your position and you'd go up to do a debate. And our instructor our coach used to ring a bell, and in wherever you were, either mid-sentence, wherever you were, you had to immediately start arguing the opposite point.
Nice.
So part of preparing for an argument, and the reason why I am I'm capable of doing the devil's advocate role here for the podcast is because part of me understanding a position is understanding the counterpoints for it. And so that bell, you know, we used to just bing and then immediately switch positions. It'd be fun to do on the podcast one day.
Pope, I'd be more okay with you doing the devil's side of the argument if you didn't read the comments afterward.
I haven't been, Briar. I swear to God, I haven't.
You lie. You lie.
Okay,
Lie
I did
like
the
a
other
dog.
day. I did the other day. I did go in and I browsed through
He
them.
can't help himself.
If you're going to argue a point you don't agree with just for the sake of moving the conversation, I think that makes for a better podcast, and I fully support it. But you can't read the comments and take it to heart when people don't agree with you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I hear you. It's fun though. It's fun, and I understand the purpose. But it's a great exercise. You should try it. It helps people to understand the opposite position that you're arguing. It really challenges your beliefs and not your beliefs, but your position, and it either strengthens it or maybe you consider something else.
Ringo the Dingo says, congrats on producing more DCP episodes than PD episodes. 90 over 89. So we did 89 episodes of Planet Destiny, and we're finishing up 90 episodes of DCP.
We are on fire.
So his question is, what was your most awkward moment in the last 179 episodes?
Ooh, most awkward.
Wouldn't it? Well, I think for Pope, it's got to be when he fell off his chair, right?
Is it awkward? Yeah,
That
I was
embarrassed look
Were you
on his face
embarrassed a little
afterwards
bit?
was pretty awkward.
There was two moments that are a standby. I'm gonna say two, and then you guys can go. So let's expand this: awkward and impactful. All right. So one is the inner sheer entertainment value of me falling. I swear to God, like that was not staged, and I had so much like fun, reading the comments and like the people's reaction to that. That was if I can make people laugh and smile for a moment, it's the teacher in me. I use humor to get students to laugh and enjoy and engage in the class, right? So if I can be the butt of somebody's joke that makes them happy, I'm 100% for that. Most impactful for me was, and what came to mind, I don't know why, but like when I needed to take a break and you guys were like supportive of me and me taking like time for myself, that was a cool moment. So
Nice.
I appreciate that.
All right.
I'm gonna do a little spin here. For very different from what you just ended with, Pope.
Okay.
When Pope Bear took eating Taco Bell too far.
Oh.
That's what I was gonna say.
I'm sorry.
Are you talking about when we started rubbing it on his
Yes.
face?
Yeah.
Good God,
Yeah.
that was awkward.
And you had like
It
that
started off
orange, like-
funny, and then we gradually started feeling nauseous.
Yeah, it made me sick seeing you eat that thing like that.
that orange sauce was looking like a really bad like spray tan.
Yeah.
Like that you had going on. That's,
Like getting anything
Those were
in
good
my
times.
beard, like
Yeah.
I cannot stand the idea of egg yolk, fresh egg yolk in my beard, or like honey or something like that.
Sure.
That like makes me want to just freak out, honestly. So when I saw that all over your beard when you were eating that,
Yeah.
I was just like,
Well, and I did the rest of the podcast like that, right?
it's a phobia.
yes.
I didn't leave. I didn't go and clean myself. It was just there.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time coming up with one. I know I've done dumb shit on this podcast. I just can't think of any.
Who did the sound effect for the mama birding? Do you remember who did the sound effect for that?
Uh-uh.
Oh man.
Yeah, there was a sound effect.
From the viewer standpoint, the Mama Bird 3D Doritos
Yeah,
Was
that's
that
pretty
the
disgusting.
greatest?
probably a viewer favorite.
Yeah, that was a rough one.
That legit, I haven't had a Dorito. I don't think I've had a Dorito since.
I'm a little
if I
sad
had
that I
to,
had
if I
to
had to
watch
pick,
it. I
pick
wasn't
something
there.
outside of Pope rubbing Taco Bell over his beard, it would probably be Hilt Tilt, even though it's not actually on an episode. That was awkward
that
because
was
I was actually pissed
classic.
off at like my internet being bad, because that was during the time when I was still on Comcast and was really, really bad. And then Holt,
You moved because of that internet,
yes,
right?
actually moved. So like I couldn't stream during that time, and then Holtz was being like an extra special kind of asshole that day, like just a
Briar,
real
wait, stop for a second.
genuine
Tefty.
asshole that day, and I was like, I'm pissed. That's it. I'm done with this.
Briar, put in context the people who are listening, who maybe started listening after Hilt Tilt. What happened that day? What were we doing? Like,
There was.
you're a good storyteller. That's all.
It was the podcast showdown. It was us versus.
Wasn't
the Dream
Podcast
Team.
Showdown because they weren't.
It
They
was
weren't
correct.
podcast.
It was not a podcast.
podcast showdown, Briar.
I stand corrected
Thank you.
It was
They were
not.
because
not a
they are not a
podcast.
podcast.
Thank you.
It was the final round. It was 2-2, and it was a hard fought, real competitive couple of 4 matches, right? And the last match, somehow we agreed to this. I don't know why we agreed to this, but it was sword hilts only, a crucible match with sword hilts only. And we had a couple of disadvantages in that we didn't know that some sword hilts actually did more damage.
The
than other
exotic
sword
ones had
hilts.
more range. I didn't know that.
We didn't
didn't
know
know
that
that,
the Dream
yeah.
Team actually did this on a regular basis.
Yeah.
They had already had experience at it.
Which explains why they wanted it to be in the showdown.
Whoa, Briar.
But
Briar,
Stop
calm
saying
down
that.
with the podcast.
my bad.
Thank you. We are undefeated
Whoa.
for a reason.
Hashtag undefeated.
Hashtag undefeated.
But yeah, we got into that match, and between like their ability to hit us from like twice as far as we could hit them because they were using the correct swords,
Yes.
and Tefty's bad internet, we just got stomped on.
We
I
got
mean,
stomped
bad,
hard.
like real bad. And meanwhile, Holtz is just giving it to us in chat, and
yes,
he's supposed
he
to be on
is.
our team.
Yep.
He had to sit out because there wasn't room for him, right? And for some reason, he had to sit out.
Yeah,
And he laid into us.
he did. He laid into us hard.
He was extra special kind of asshole that day.
That's
to you,
what I said,
Tefty.
man.
Like,
It was a very
Yeah.
fragrant, spicy, extra special asshole. And it
Yeah.
pushed me just over the edge. And I was like, you know what? Had enough.
yeah.
So that was an awkward moment for me, for sure.
well, we are definitely looking now that Dream Team, they're not very consistent with their podcasts.
I don't
But they
think
do
they've done
technically-
podcasts in a while, right?
Yeah, I know.
think
but-
they did like 2 or 3 episodes.
So if they form another one, and if we're willing to give them the same courtesy of other podcasts, but until that day, hashtag undefeated.
Yep.
Can I
Indeed.
clear the air about something here real quick?
Sure.
There's actually another podcast out there who was recently undefeated, And I don't know if you had heard of them. Yeah, they kind of won the Pod Clash Showdown recently. Had to play against like 4 other different podcasts. Little startup, Rezocast.
Oh, what's it called again?
Oh my God, this guy. I just want to say, shout outs to Rezocast. They did win the 2018 Pod Clash Showdown. And,
is that is that the podcast for Resolute Clan?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Interesting. So they won that showdown, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Who was on the podcast when they did the
okay,
challenge?
so
Yeah, it was
the
was
rules
it
were
all,
the rules were
Yeah.
was every
What were the
member of
rules?
that
Yes,
team
what are
on
the
the
rules?
podcast? That's my question.
so the rules were a little loose. All right, not everyone had. Oh my God,
yeah.
these guys.
No, I wanna
Not
hear more
everyone
about who
had
was on
4
the team.
members on their team or everyone available. So it was literally whatever team you were going up against. If you
Sure.
had 6 members on your team, sure, you could do 6
So all of a sudden,
If you only
Hovey was
had
a member
2
of the podcast, right?
No, it was myself.
Oh wait, I know you were on a podcast, but I didn't think it was that one.
No, you're definitely not that on that.
Been on
one.
it the past 2 weeks, Briar, while you've been away on vacation. Thank you very much for noticing. I missed you too, by the way. But it was myself, Lego, Hove, Fatebringer, and Lightbreaker. No big.
Oh,
yeah.
Lightbreaker, huh?
Yeah, I may have said Lightbreaker.
Yeah. Interesting. They're members of the podcast. So we play it by a little bit more strict rules. You actually have to be on the podcast to be, part of it.
Yeah.
And, you have to be regularly uploading a podcast and be a contributing member.
Yeah. You have to have at least 10 episodes on there. Minimum.
Yeah.
We can't bring in, I can't bring in OSK because he's a sub and be like, yeah, dude, he's totally on the podcast.
Yeah,
You guys
he's
get-
like, he loves it.
Man, you guys are like playing in the NBA, and we're just trying to play some street ball out here. You know what
You
I'm
know,
saying?
if you want to, if you
Invite
if
some
you want a
friends.
piece of
I
the
mean, I
limelight,
could,
bro, you
maybe
gotta
see if
like,
Giggs wants to play. Like, just,
Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
If you want to
He's
be
been on the
truly
podcast.
hashtag undefeated.
Yeah, he's been.
We've got a lot of
Yeah.
people that have been on the podcast, right, Tefty?
That's
We've
true.
got, we've had Ari, we've had,
You get Lumi,
Lumi.
Why
We've
not?
had
Manigator,
Lumi,
Manigator was
yeah.
also in on that as well.
Was he?
But he's on. Mana's on every show. Lego's on every show. Hove is on every show. I guess the only person that you guys might be concerned about would be myself, because I've only been on like 4 or 5 episodes. 5.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. I'd be more scared of Revolver, to be honest with you.
Sounds like, who would you play for? How would that even work?
You'd have to sit out.
You just want to be undefeated, no
It
matter
doesn't
who
even
wins.
matter. I'm getting carried by either team. It doesn't fucking matter what team I'm on.
Maybe you should just host it and be like, "Welcome to the Thunderdome."
Well, congratulations to Rezocast for winning that podcast tournament. That was fun. Those are great guys that put that on, and
Well, they're okay guys.
they're okay guys.
Wait, are you talking about the guys who went on the tournament or Rezocast?
Both, man. That whole podcast thing.
Okay.
I looked at that whole list of people that are participating, and I saw nothing but solid community members and friends. And
The guys who put the podcast or the tournament on, they're great guys.
Right.
Rezocast, meh.
not so much. I've had some of them over at my house for dinner. They've met my family, so I think I'm okay
I'm
with
just
it.
giving them a hard time.
I know. I think the interesting part though is how many podcasts this community has formed. It's crazy. There's
yeah, right.
20, 30 podcasts in
It's
this.
amazing. It really is.
Yeah.
Crazy.
All right. Rapid fire time. Let's get through the rest of these.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
Let's do it. Rapid fire. Remember, that means
Rapid
quickly.
fire.
Fast answers.
All right. Gary Diaz says, with Sweet Dick Willie and Big Sugar now household names, can we take this moment to adorn the rest of the crew with honorary aliases? I'll get the ball rolling with Shamrock Deep Throat for Tefty and Pope Barely Legal.
Oh my god!
Who's Big Sugar?
Like Briar.
That's me.
That's Briar. We
This
dubbed
was a
him Big
household
Sugar.
name?
I didn't know that either.
It's not.
It was by request. Briar wanted he requested.
You want
just
to
reading the
Big
question.
Sugar?
Sweet Dick Willie took off. Let me tell you.
Well, it fits so easily.
Gary Diaz Gary Diaz is the one who came up with Sweet Dick Willie, by the way.
See,
it all started because I left them hanging on a very sweaty card of trials to go play Fortnite, and Gary referred to it as the betrayal of Sweet Dick Willie, and here we are. That was literally the start of all of it.
see, the thing about
Right,
Sweet
now
Dick Willie,
we wonder
is
if you were
it rolls
playing
off
for
the
another
tongue
podcast.
so easily.
That's the
It
thing,
does.
yeah.
It's musical.
Tefties definitely did not.
Yeah.
Wait. So what were these? What were these nicknames again? What mine was?
Pope barely legal.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't roll off the tongue either.
Yeah, you kind of
I kinda like it anyway, though.
I kind of like it.
As an educator, I don't approve.
And Shamrock Deep Throat. I'm not real sure what that means.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of
Are you like
implications.
an
But again,
Irish?
it's not like I am Irish, actually. Partly Irish.
Maybe that's
Everybody's
why.
Oh,
a little
okay.
Irish.
True.
Let's be honest.
I'm
This is
not,
true.
but okay.
You have to have a little Irish. Everybody's got a little Irish.
Well,
It's
there's
got to
some
be
green on
very
your chair.
effortless for the name.
It's true.
Sweet Dick Willie is like,
Yeah.
boom, it's Sweet Dick Willie. Hey,
That's,
Right?
yeah.
It puts a smile on your face every time you say it.
Yeah.
Most interesting Korean says, for 100K, would you run naked through a Walmart parking lot? 100% chance of no criminal charges. Hashtag no
Yes.
loopholes.
oh, okay.
Of course.
for sure.
100%
Of
no
course.
That's a
chance of
free-
criminal charges?
That's
okay.
free money.
You get me
That's
drunk
the
enough, I might
freest
do it for
money
free.
ever.
That's what I'm saying. With a chance of going to jail, I might just do it. Like, you never.
Yeah, like that's free money.
It's Walmart.
You're
I don't know,
overpaying
man.
for this
Who
service,
cares
sir.
if some strangers you're never gonna see again see you naked?
Is it a
I don't
Walmart
know.
in my hometown?
Yes.
Oh, I don't even
Yes,
care.
100%.
Then the
It could be my neighbors. I don't care. That's
there's no
free
way
money.
I'm-
It's the
there's
one you
no-
go to, Poe. It's the
There's-
one you go to on the reg.
It's
Okay,
free
I'm gonna
money.
hand my phone to my wife so she can film it.
Here's the thing. If
Watch
there's
this,
any
hon.
chance,
Here
if
we
there's
go.
any chance I run into one of my students, there's no way in God's green earth I'm doing it.
Hey, man.
That's understandable.
100K and no
Wear a mask.
law.
But still be naked. There
No
you go.
law. No law.
Still,
Wear a mask. Oh,
I won't do
wear,
it.
You could
wear a
deny
mask.
it.
I'm not
but
doing
just
it.
you can still be naked with a mask on.
Watts, what mask should he wear?
One that makes him look barely legal.
oh no.
You could do that,
This conversation.
or you could go with Bill Clinton.
Good choice.
You could do the old Aldrin mask.
Ooh,
Chat's pretty
yeah.
big fans of the Aldrin mask.
All
It
right.
might not be the weirdest thing they've seen at that Walmart that day.
That's
Walmart's
true.
interesting.
That's
That's hefty
true.
mask.
You know what I mean?
That's definitely. You should
pretty
definitely wear a
honest,
Tefty
Tefty.
mask.
I've seen some pretty. Oh, dude, Tefty. I'd do it with a Tefty mask. The only problem, though, Briar, is people wouldn't believe me. I'm too tall to come across
Yeah,
as
that's
Tefty.
true. Pope is about 5 feet taller.
Mm-hmm.
5
5 millimeters taller, maybe, or we're almost the same height, aren't we, Tefty?
We're basically the same.
Like we're like pretty
Very
much.
close.
Depends on who's wearing taller shoes.
Colby Roy says, what is your favorite kind of potato chip? Personal favorite is ranch dipped hot wings Doritos. I picked this question because this man has the balls to call Doritos a potato chip. Potatoes right in the name, motherfucker. Those are corn chips.
Yeah, there's a distinction for sure.
That's
Is there a difference?
There's a definite difference.
Uh-huh.
Whoa. Educate me because I
One's
use the
made from
word
potatoes.
chip.
One's made
Potato
from
chip.
corn.
interchangeably.
Whoa.
I don't
Corn is
know.
not a potato.
Pope, it says potato chip.
Pope,
Okay.
are you gonna dip
You
a
say
potato,
potato,
chip
I
in
say
salsa?
tomato. I mean, if
Please,
it's
God,
salsa,
say no.
There's a correct answer here, Pope.
Yeah,
I would dip it in anything.
disgusting. I'm sorry.
Do Doritos have potato in them?
Doesn't matter.
Probably not.
Yes, because they're called potato chips.
I can guarantee you that whatever they're calling
No, they're corn chips.
corn or potato,
Right,
by the
exactly.
time it gets to where it is and in that chip format, it is far from its original form.
All right, let me pitch
It
you this,
tastes
Pope.
different.
Let's say you're hungry for some nachos, and you have to
Okay.
make them, and you only have a bag of potato chips. Do you actually go
What
ahead?
kind of potato chips? Can we get specific?
Let's say they're Lay's potato chips, some basic bitch potato chips. All right,
All right.
you spread those out on the plate, and are you
That's
going
right.
to put cheddar on top of those potato chips? and beans.
If I want nachos and I yeah.
You're
My
gonna make
high school used to do
nachos
that.
with potato chips,
My high school used to do that.
I'm telling you.
and you're balking at Taco Bell.
You need
fucking
to-
hypocrite.
to reconsider things in your life right now.
Stop the madness, Poe Bear.
Stop the madness.
To me, it's all processed crap that's going in my stomach.
Oh.
If it,
Potato chips aren't processed, specifically. They're not.
There's some natural ass potato chips.
Yeah.
Baked Lays is my answer. Those are the best.
all right, whatever you guys are convincing yourself, there's no difference.
There's a big
Dude,
It's all
it says
salty
potato
mess.
chips. One is corn, one is potato.
All a bunch of gelatinous crap that they're feeding you.
Not
Get outta
all
here.
of
Not
them.
really.
Jimmy
man.
Scooter
What
says-
you're
It
eating.
tastes definitely different.
They do taste different.
All right. Well,
Jimmy
maybe
Scooter
we
says
can-
every time I go into my basement or any basement, I immediately have to poop. Does this happen to anybody else?
Strictly in the basement?
I honestly don't remember the
basement
last
thing?
basement I went into.
Yeah. Basements aren't too common in California.
I don't
Oh,
have
really?
a basement.
I didn't know that about California. Where do you keep your avocados in cold storage?
We buy them at the store.
rapid fire.
Oh no.
You just spent a half an hour explaining how potato chips were bad for us.
No,
Matt
I
Grundy
don't.
says, if you could travel in time and see any band/artist play live, who would you see and what time would you go to?
Ooh, wow.
Ooh.
Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
Opening of the brick in the wall.
CCR. Some Credence.
Yeah, I'd like,
dope.
it would
Credence
be
is good too.
you'd be like Led Zeppelin in their prime, or do I see Pink Floyd, or like, that'd be tough, honestly.
I'm gonna go with Tupac.
Nice.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Love
I'm
Tupac.
with that.
I'd want to hold that ticket
I'd warn him.
to contemplate it for the rest of my life for who I'm going to see, because I'm assuming it comes in a ticket form that you get to cash in,
Probably.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah, it'd be like a mystical ticket from some sort of fairy godmother type
Yeah.
of thing, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I want to say something like highfalutin and like really, but it's Led Zeppelin. I want to see fucking Led Zeppelin live. That'd be
Jimmy Page live,
amazing.
right?
Yeah.
What about
Wow.
some Queen? That would be an
Never
epic
mind.
show
Change my
right
answer
there.
to Queen. I'd like to see Freddie Mercury. Yep.
Yeah, Freddie Mercury was an amazing performer. Amazing.
I'd go to that. Was it Live Aid that everybody says he blew everybody away at? Matt Grundy. No, we just said that one. Protheon says, is the format with .gif, how is it pronounced?
GIF.
Gift.
It's GIF. 100%
I say
GIF.
GIF. I say GIF.
Briar, don't disappoint us here. What is it?
Briar.
I mean, the podcast is spoken. It is clearly GIF.
Okay, nice. Thank God. Friendships
The
were on the
defining
line there.
voice of the internet has claimed it to be GIF. Dreadnought says, you found a book of your life. You read it, and you go to the page to where you're at right now. Do you turn the page knowing that you'll never be able to change what happens from now on?
Oof.
No.
Ooh.
No.
Burn that
I
book.
can't even like change my mind without like thinking, did this completely alter the course of my day? You know what I mean? Like turn around the interstate, like during a storm or something. Like, am I just going to cause an accident? You know what I mean? There's no way I could read what was going to happen next and wake up the next day. There'd be no way.
You
You're
know,
like
I
getting a
might.
spoiler for the rest of your life.
But
There's no way
what
I
if
can do it.
can I just take a little peek at the next page? It just tells me by like about tomorrow.
The next page.
I won't learn much because my days are very much so the same. But I might take a little peek. Just a little.
The
Wait,
fact
here-
that it's predetermined is what makes me not want to do it. If I could read it and see what decisions I made to get to a certain path, and then I could change that path depending on whether I liked the destination or not, then yes, I would read it. But the way those question is worded means that says that I can't change it, which means there's no way in hell I'd read that book.
Yeah, if I know in advance what's going to happen to me and I can't do anything about it, hell no.
But what if it says like you're going to be like a billionaire in 5 years and you get to just enjoy the ride? Like, because every decision you're making, you don't have to stress about any
So
decision.
you're gambling on the
Right?
fact that you're suddenly going to become a billionaire.
Well,
in that book.
I'm
But it's not
gambling on
gonna-
the fact that the outcome is really good. So if the outcome is really good, then from here on out until the end of that book, right, is you know that you don't have to stress about any decision because it's all predetermined anyway. So you can just enjoy the ride stress-free.
Right.
I'll
but
take a little peeky peek.
We're talking about you can only look at the next day, though, right? Or you can read the whole book.
No, yeah, you can read the rest of the book.
Oh. Nah.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass.
I want part of my enjoyment of life is the mystery of wondering what my son is going to grow up and become, what, who my daughter is going to marry, what my grandchildren are going to look like. To have that spoiled would be to take the essence of life out of it. So the answer
it would
for me
take
is no.
it would take some of the joy out of the moments, but it could lower your stress level on like every decision you make for the rest of your life. What if you get to today's page and there's only one page left?
What if the next page is empty?
Oh man.
Oh boy.
Or the next
It's only
page
a
says
50-page book and you're on page 49. You're like, oh fuck.
Like, I thought we were gonna have, like fake bodies in a couple years. So we can transfer consciousness. That sucks. Yeah, man.
All right. That's some trippy ass. It's a good question.
That was
That
deep.
is a good question. That's a fun one. That's it too. That's the one we're gonna leave you on.
Oh.
Did we get the Patreon question?
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot the Patreon question. I will do that right now. Taylor Rosano says, if only able to have one flavor of ice cream or one type of ice cream bar for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Obviously, Magnum, 100%.
Obviously, Magnum.
I was gonna say
Definitely.
Neapolitan, but you right.
Yeah, the Magnum.
The Magnum.
Let me just ask you, Wilson. Like, if it's Neapolitan for you, are you scooping across the flavors or with the flavors?
100%. I scoop across, dude, because I'm toxic. I'm toxic, dude. I gotta mess it up for the next person. Are you?
You son of a bitch.
Animal.
Wait, isn't that how you're supposed to eat the Neapolitan, though? Because the point is that it's mixed in with a bunch of flavors.
Right.
Like, you don't buy
I always thought
Neapolitan
the point of a
thinking, well, at least I'm going to
Neapolitan-
have chocolate in there, and I can save the rest for other people who want
I
that,
don't
that
understand
crappy
you
taste.
people.
That's exactly what I thought Neapolitan was for. It's like some people in the family want some strawberries, some people in the family want vanilla,
It's
Really?
economy.
and all the normal people want the chocolate.
That's right.
No, you go buy your own fucking ice cream, Briar.
Yeah.
That's what, if you just stay out of
buy-
my Neapolitan.
You buy
son
3
of a
flavors.
bitch.
You know what? I've had this argument with Snaps for some time, and every once in a while she'll throw it in my face on Twitter. It's not. No one should scoop across, and that's the end of the conversation.
Yeah,
I'm
the
gonna do
Neapolitan
it
is
next time
meant
I
to
get
scoop
some,
across.
and I'm gonna film it, and I'm gonna tag you in it.
Dude, tag
on
me
Twitter.
too.
Never do that.
So I can back you up.
Okay.
Heathens. Next thing you're going to be telling me that milk goes in first before cereal.
You know those toasted almond joints that you get from the guy in the truck that drives around?
Mhm.
The toasted almond, those are pretty good. And you
I
only
don't
get them
have
from
a
that
truck
guy in the
guy.
truck. Like, I don't have a truck guy either, but I used to when I was a kid. And I used to run after that truck with 50 cents in my hand and that toasted
Oh, the
almond
good
bar,
old
man. That
ice
thing was
cream
really good.
mandies.
Toasted almond? What was
I mean,
What
In-
Oh, it's an ice cream bar on a stick, and it's covered in toasted almonds.
ooh,
Yeah, it's
that
really
sounds
good.
delicious.
Delicious.
It's amazing.
Have you guys had the Cadbury's flake chocolate?
haven't.
No.
First of all, it's
Oh.
amazing, and you should. But in England, there's the ice cream man comes along, and you get an ice cream cone with ice cream in it, and they put a flake through the ice cream. It is delicious,
A
and
flake?
I choose that. Yeah,
A flake of what?
Cadbury's flake.
What? Like,
Yeah, what's that?
Americans and your crappy chocolate. it offends me.
what is
Your
Cadbury's?
non-Belgium chocolate.
Look, you know what?
It's
What the hell is that?
I'm not
You
going to
just you
defend our
order a
chocolate
99,
either.
and you get ice cream, and you get the flake in it.
What's the flake?
the flake?
Of
I've
what?
never
Is
heard
it
of this.
chocolate?
Jesus
Chocolate.
Christ!
Of
It's
chocolate.
Were
a
you
type of
listening to the
chocolate.
story?
It's a type of chocolate?
Chocolate.
I
Yes.
thought is there
good,
anything but
too.
Hershey's?
Not in this country, no.
Speed round.
Unless
Pope.
you're getting.
Oh, speed round.
I'm just glad nobody said Dippin' Dots ice cream. That's all.
All right.
All right, guys. Well, that's the podcast.
Hold on,
No,
hold on.
wait,
We got two more.
Oh, my bad.
Bodwin De Jong says, why can't Asher Mir just live out his name's translation and say, me happy?
Is that what Asher Mears? That's like the opposite of who he is.
Is that actually a translation?
I have no idea. I'm going to take
Asher
his word
Mears.
for it.
Yeah, man. That's
The man's
so
clearly
ironic.
intelligent and has good taste. He's a Patreon.
Yep. He's got to be right. All our patrons are literally the smartest people on the planet.
Unichronic says, what is the best and worst purchase you've ever made? I'm going to narrow this one down to the worst. What's the worst purchase you've ever made? I'll start it off because I've got it ready. I bought a Mazda MX-6. It's a little red sports car. Basically, it was the Mazda version of a Ford Probe. That thing spent more time at the shop than it spent on the road. It was a terrible car. I spent too much money on it. I eventually got rid of it when I blew the motor.
Damn. Blew the motor, too. God damn.
Wow.
Mine's a car one as well.
First.
I bought a brand new Acura when I was really in my early 20s. I landed like a really nice job and bought a brand new Acura because I was like, yo, I got money to spend. Ended up hating the job 6 months later and spent way too much money on that car. Ended up having to give it back to the dealership. And yeah, it went back. It was a mistake. It was a great life lesson, though, because I'm a lot more cautious over purchases now.
I did purchase a really fancy dress twice because I forgot to return it within the return date.
Ooh.
I regret that. That's just a straight up waste of money. Unless, I get humongous, then maybe I can fit it. So you never know. Maybe later.
Ironically, I think, my worst purchase was my worst purchase decision was also my best. They're one and the same. My worst purchase decision was I dropped out of college and I got all these credit cards. So I got all these credit cards and stuff. And then I went on a trip to Europe for a year on those credit cards.
Damn.
And I took me 15 years to pay off all that credit card
Oh,
debt.
fuck.
Sounds awesome.
Holy
But
shit.
that trip was dope.
I bet that trip was amazing.
So college, should have stayed in.
You don't regret it for a minute, do you?
Shouldn't have, those credit cards, because I let them all lapse. I didn't pay any of them. So they were like 30% interest rate by the time
Oh, man. Yikes.
Anyway.
Worst purchase I've ever made was a Virtual Boy. You remember that thing?
Oh,
Back in the
man.
day?
Ouch.
Basically, AKA the headache-inducing machine.
Mm-hmm.
That thing, how I talked my mom into buying that stupid thing, I have no idea. But yeah, it was bad.
What was it called?
At least it
Virtual
wasn't
Boy.
a Yobo. That's what I'm
Virtual
saying.
boy.
I never heard of it.
Yobo.
How old were you, Wilson, at the time?
How old was I at the time?
Yeah.
When I got the Virtual Boy? 9.
You telling me
maybe?
your worst purchase was when you were 9 years old?
Damn,
Yeah,
you've lived a good life.
Yeah. Other than that,
I
I'd
gotta
say,
say,
I don't
that's
know.
impressive, man.
I bought a Lunchable one time that I didn't like. Like, other than that, I don't know.
Your track
It's
record
pretty-
is legendary.
It's
on
pretty good.
point.
The Virtual Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd
Yeah.
be
That's good stuff.
maybe
Do
the
you still
Sega
have
Game
it?
Gear. No, I don't have that thing. If I want a migrine, I can go stare at the sun
was his
for an
worst
hour.
purchase,
Like,
man.
what the heck would I do?
Why
with
would he
that
keep the
thing?
worst purchase ever?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
It's great. That's the podcast, right?
That's it.
That's it.
That is officially
That's the 90th episode of DCP. If you
did it.
want, we're doing sign-offs now, right? This is what we do.
Yeah.
If you want to find me on Twitter, you can look me up at twitter.com/Teft or tweet me something. Tweet me a Magnum bar. That'd be great. And stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/TeftyTeft. I usually start around 6 p.m. Pacific time. We're going to say Friday through Wednesday, and then Thursdays I'm here. Just to confuse people on that. All right?
How about every day except for Thursday?
Yeah, it's too easy.
We had this discussion earlier.
Too
Tufty
easy.
doesn't.
Too easy, man.
He's got to weed out, the elite from the simple non-coup
Plus,
voting.
I'm actually streaming right now. My thing is streaming here on DCP, so it's
That's
false.
true. You are clearly. Yes, that is every day.
Yeah.
How about just every day?
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. For not that channel, though. See? This is the
You're right.
conundrum that I've got.
Yes. It's a puzzle wrapped in an enigma.
Exactly.
I'm Brian Rabbit. You can find me streaming weekdays at 1 p.m. Eastern. Actually, I'm done with photos, too, so I'll be streaming in the weekends as well over on Briar Rabbit. Just look up Briar Rabbit on Twitch. I've been doing a lot of YouTube videos lately. Just check out Briar Rabbit channel over on YouTube or talk to me on Twitter. Just look up the Briar Rabbit.
Oh, it's me. I am Miss 5000 Watts. You can find me streaming and talking and uploading some stuff. Just search for Miss 5000 Watts.
Wilson, it's on you.
Oh, awesome.
Sorry.
If you guys want to tweet me, you can find me on Twitter at Ryu Wilson. That's RYU Wilson. Definitely send me some tweets. Love to hear all the funny stuff you guys come up with on Twitter. So it's always good.
Oh, sorry. And this is Pope Bear. I am sorry for this weird sign off. I'm trying to find someone to raid at the same time. I'm multitasking, which is not a good idea. This has been Pope Bear. You can find me on Twitter at Pope Bear. You can make sure to follow us on Twitter as well, the podcast at DCP_live. Next week, I gave a little hint during the podcast, but next week, we are going to have Josh Stein, who is the community manager for Watch Mixer.
For Witcher?
And he, for Wixer.
That Netflix series that's coming out soon?
It's a new one. Yeah. He's a great guy. We're going to talk about all the stuff that's going on over there at Mixer and some of the plays that they're doing to bring streamers over to there. That's going to be next week. And we've got a lot of stuff happening next month as far as Guardian Con. I'm really excited to have St. Jude's on the first week of the month. We're going to have a representative from St. Jude's and Alex from Guardian Con are going to be on the show on Thursday, July 5th to talk about just St. Jude's, the charity, and going on at that time is going to be the Guardian Con charity stream. So we're going to give you some background information while we're streaming. So I don't want to compete against the Guardian Con stream. But we're going to be educating you guys about stuff that's going on with St. Jude's, get some background history, hearing from the people from St. Jude's, and then we're going to raid St. Jude afterwards. And we want you guys to all show up in force because we want a huge chunk of us to just jump into that stream and make a splash. So I got a reminder that on the second week of the month, we do not have a show going on because we'll be at Guardian Con. We will have a first ever live show of the DCP Side Quest podcast. We're going to be doing our first version. If you guys don't know, that's the other podcast that we do. We do two. The second one is all about other games that we play. We're going to be doing the first ever live Side Quest podcast on July 11th with Jason Schreier from Kotaku. So I'm excited about that. And then more to come. Stay tuned. We'll have a lot of announcements on how you can be involved with DCP and what we're doing for Guardian Con.
There it is. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. We're going to roll credits, and then we'll be back to read out some subs. So thanks again for watching, listening, and hanging out with us. Back next week. All that action. Bye, guys.
Bye.